and welcome to SciFi Vision for School Spirit Split River Keys for 6. Jenn will be along hopefully in a few minutes, but welcome everybody. Tonight we have the 7th episode of School Spirits, so only 2 left. We're getting close to the end.
One.
I hate that. I hope it's going to at least be renewed.
One.
I don't know if it's or not. Yeah, one after this. I mean, we got this one to do. And
two. You mean that?
Yeah, I was including. Yeah, I was including this one with the 2. But yes, we have one more after this.
I wish there was 2.
Yeah, I wish there was 2. I just hope that they at least bring it back, but I have not heard anything of it, so I guess we won't know until we find out. But thank you, everybody. If you've joined us, please make sure you like the video, hype it if you can, subscribe to SciFi Vision, and also, so everybody knows now, there's Jenn. Let me bring her in. Hello.
Hey, sorry. One of my kiddos is sicky.
No, you're good. Let me see if it. Okay, good. It kept you in the right place.
Yeah, but I
was just
back in again.
No, it's good. It's good. Don't do anything. It's good. I fixed it.
Okay, because I have my graphic in front of Jenn's name, so.
I see it okay. So, do you see it okay, Jenn?
Okay.
I don't know. It looks fine. You might not be updated.
I can't see Jenn. I can't see her.
Yeah, I can see on the YouTube, and it looks fine on the YouTube.
Yeah, it looks fine on YouTube, so I'm not sure. It might be your iPad, Scarlet. But as I was about to say, for anybody who doesn't know, who didn't see it in Discord, Monday at 7:30 Eastern, we have Alex Zahara, who is going to be joining us as a special guest for a special episode of this to talk about school spirits. He plays Principal Hartman. So he'll be there then. So please make sure you come, and you can send him your questions in the chat, and we'll get him to answer them live. Like I said, that's Monday, and that also is technically even though it wasn't what was intended, because we've been trying to get S.H.I.E.L.D., that'll be the first of our officially the first of our SciFi Vision Spotlight episodes. Although, funny enough, I think I did get somebody from S.H.I.E.L.D., but somebody I didn't expect that we might be getting to for that soon. But that information will come once, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that Mr. Hartman's going to save the day in the finale.
Yeah, I don't know. He might. They're going to him to help. They know he wants to
go to him.
But yeah, so make sure you guys tune in on Monday to see Alex and talk to him. All right. Well, now for this episode, what did you guys think? This one was, I mean, it was pretty crazy. A lot happened, and I think we were wrong about a lot of things, which I thought was interesting to find out, because I know last week we're kind of like, is it did Van Hite go into Maddie? Did he go into Xavier? And like, it was none of that. So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool, but that we were completely wrong. But it also ended on craziness with her going through her door. And then of course, Wally leaving is sad. I was like crying by the time I was done watching this one the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think?
Yeah, the music at the end was really good. I had it really turned up on my TV so I could get that full on like St. Vincent song at the end.
I thought this entire episode was like highly emotional, like almost emotional when I don't remember what episode it was, but when like Maddie and Wally have sex, and so does Charlie and Yuri, like it's like this whole like love like episode. That it was like a very emotional episode, and so was Rhonda's. This was really emotional on different levels. I was crying pretty much for half of the episode.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say anything. I was like so emotional. I was, like,
no,
and I'm like trying to give my kid like
get
stuff, and I'm like hysterical crying as like there's a tea kettle like brewing in the background.
Had you seen it before tonight, or was this the first time you saw it?
This is my first time seeing it.
Oh, okay. You hadn't seen it before. Yeah,
I've been doing that on purpose because I'm hosting with you. Like I'm one of your hosts, so I'm like I want it to be my most like real reaction, and I've been paying attention, so I'm like jotting down notes. I like when I watch things a second time because I feel like I catch so much more, but I've been trying to like completely be first time reaction on the video live. Here we go.
Oh no, that's cool. This was the first week I actually watched it beforehand, so I'm kind of the opposite tonight, which makes me less stressed. But usually I don't have the time to do. But yeah, I had seen it before, so I wasn't as teary eyed this time, but I definitely was the first time. I was like pissed at Wally, like, no, don't do that, you know. But I guess we'll have to see what happens.
I know we're not like ever actually at that part, but what about Rhonda's response? That's what really got me, like, I was bawling at Rhonda. I was like, oh my God, that's me. Like, hysterical crying at Rhonda's response, because she's right. If I had an opportunity for all of us to go back, I'd want us all to go back. Like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. When she said that, I'm like, I say that all the time. I was bawling. I thought it was just so real. Like, it's a dilemma. And people can say whatever they want, but when you experience something and you have to make a choice, that's when you're real. That's when, like, no bullshit. You can't just pick a wagon. Like, so I really felt like really emotional to that. I'm like, this is as real as gets. I really kind of like that connection that I have with it. Considering it's like a teenager thing, I'm like a full grown adult. I teach teenagers and I'm very emotional over this. I thought they did a really good job. And the way it played back and forth, there were really high stakes in this episode, not just Simon. Even though like Simon was completely absent, but it wasn't, it made it more deeper than just Simon.
Yeah, he wasn't actually a part of this really at all.
Hey, Jen, do you have ghosts in your school at all?
Do I have what?
Ghosts?
Oh, ghosts? I'm going to assume so, because my school's I think my school was built in 1908.
Oh.
So I'm going to assume so, but my classroom's in the new wing that was built in 2007 and 8. So I don't think they're technically in my hallway, but I am sure. Like, we have a third floor that there are classrooms in there, but only one teacher teaches up there. The rest of it is shut down. It's been on like renovation and construction for the entire decade that I've been teaching at this district.
Sorry, my phone started making noise. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that.
Okay, and then I don't know if you've ever heard of King's College, which suddenly shut down in like 1997, like out of nowhere in New York. And so I'm very close to that. And I originally went to Pace University, so I went there at night. It was the scariest place ever. And then Purchase, I'm sure if you know of SUNY Purchase, which is a skip and a hop, we have our graduations there almost we were until COVID, but we had a lot of our graduations there. And if you know about Downey Hall and Purchase, the Downey family that owned that plantation that sold it off and had it built, one of the last living survivors hung herself in Downey Hall, and it's named after her. And there's been many students that have passed away there. So every time I watch School Spirits, it reminds me of Downey Hall. And when I went to Pace University and Purchase, like, I had friends there, and like I heard all about it and tried to do like the seance thing and a Ouija board. It was just, I was like really creeped out. I was like, I can't go through with this. Like, it was freaky. There's a lot of like weird stuff that happens there. Not necessarily, like I said, in my school, but in the area. What about you?
My school just has one skinny, creepy hallway that one time I walked down with one of my students, and it's a really, really skinny hallway that goes really, really long. And then at the end of it, you turn around and there's just enough room for a desk.
Oh no, I'm good.
There's doors in front of it. There's doors in front of it, and there's just a desk, but the doors are locked. And I'm like, no.
Nope. Nope.
It's unusually warm too.
Oh no. And that's opposite, right? Because usually it gets unusually cold if there's any type of like apparition around or ghost or anything like that.
Unless it's
but
a
if it's getting warm, I'm thinking like it's a demon. Get the fuck out of yeet right the hell out of there. It is a demon. If it's warm, if it's cold, it's a ghost. That's my theory.
So we got out of there. I'm just saying. We were both curious about it, and then we were not curious about it anymore.
Yeah, when I went to King's College as an idiot at 19, like as a, like doing, I did not join any sororities, and I didn't really believe in that, but I had friends that did. So they were challenged to do something, and a couple of them dropped out of the sorority. So closer towards Halloween, because rush week is like early, in like September. So closer to Halloween, we decided, that's not a bad idea. Let's go, because I researched it and I was like, this school closed down out of nowhere. Kids just disappeared. Kids like committed suicide in the basement. Like it was crazy, like all the stories. So we went there and we like jumped through, like we got through a broken glass window because it was like, oh, but the plates, computers were still there with spider. It looked like people like it. And then like you heard things in there. I yeeted the fuck out of there. I was the first one back. It wasn't even my car. I was in the driver's seat and I drove stick and I was like peeling out of there. I was like, I don't care. And I'm pretty sure the security guard was coming there. So I didn't want to get like like, how do I call my mom from college? 19? Like I just got arrested for trespassing because we decided to go down the rabbit hole of a brand new internet you've never really heard of because it's literally 1999. So yeah, but that's it reminds me of like a lot of this, like we watch makes me think back to the 90s when I grew up and we heard a lot of this like around a campfire and heard about kids that died. Or, I mean, I don't know about you, but growing up in the 90s, every single year there was kids that died from, like now it's drugs. Before then it was like drinking and driving or just being silly or like, they went into the water and never came back up kind of a thing. But every year there was kids that died. And then as I got older, like there was a riot, a kid stabbed another kid, like shit got serious kind of like in its day. But like every year. So I think about this. I'm like, oh my God, the kid that got stabbed and died like by the gym back in 1997. I wonder if he's still there. Like seriously. I think that's we didn't have a Wally, but I had a kid that was put in a coma for like a week going through what Wally went through. And then after that, he had to he wasn't paralyzed, but he had to relearn how to walk and had brain trauma. He was never in the same classes again. And he's disabled. He literally looks like he was born with Down syndrome and he was not. I went to school with him until he was 16 until he took a hit like Wally. So things like that make me think about this show and relatable, but I'll shut up now. Sorry.
That's fine.
No, I was just thinking you're talking about different things that happened in the school though. I don't think I've ever had any like paranormal, experiences or anything. I also don't work at a school. So yeah, I don't know that I have any stories either, but
yeah, I had a custodian, like my husband's a custodian in the school and a custodian in a high school right next to ours. He choked on a chicken bone and died. And he was like the night shift and they never like really see each other. So like he died, but because he was eating alone in the library, no one realized it. Like it's like that freaks me out. I think all the time I'm like, do you think, I don't want to say his name, but do you think like he's still there? I ask my husband all the time. My husband's like, who knows if he's got unfinished business, probably.
Yeah. You never know. I don't know. I mean, I would like to hope that people aren't stuck there, but aren't stuck, here, I should say here as in stuck in between or whatever. But I guess you never really know, do you?
Yeah. I'm no longer Catholic, so I don't want to, I'm Christian, but I'm not Catholic anymore. And I was born and raised Catholic and I kind of started reading the Bible and stuff. And I kind of went away from Catholicism, but it always like drives me crazy. Like, is there a purgatory or not? I would hope that you'd be given an opportunity to fix things, but not tortured in the in-between because you fuck things up here, if that makes sense. So like the Catholicism way is the latter way that I just explained, and the Christian way is the first way, which is probably another reason why I switched, because I know I'm not perfect. It says, whatever. My point is that this kind of thing freaks me out. That's why I think I agree with Rhonda so much. Like if everybody had the opportunity to make it to their door and go on to the good place or the better place, then I want everybody to go because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And that like resonated with me because of all these thoughts and beliefs that I had. And it's just, I think that's why I connect so much to the show. I don't know. I channel my inner teen.
Yeah.
Theater. Yes, everybody, please like and subscribe.
Kimberly.
And Kimberly, yes, welcome everybody.
Hey B.
All right, wait, I lost my pictures. I got my pictures up here. All right, so yeah, I started to say this earlier at the beginning. I want to ask you guys, like, were you surprised when you found out that, or at least it seemed, I'm assuming that this is the case, I shouldn't say it, but that, yeah, I want to say Van Dyke. I don't know why Van Height, that Van Height didn't go into Maddie or Xavier, like that it was just, they were both fine and everything. I don't know. I expected him to be in one of them at this point. Maybe I wasn't sure. And we had talked about, maybe he would be in, Debbie or whatever. And I was like,
funny on another channel. It was funny on another channel. They slipped up and said Hunter Von Price, and I thought it was hilarious.
So I'm trying to figure out who he could have gone into, like who was there. And the only person that would make sense, unless they're doing really good at it, would be Xavier or Nicole. I don't think he's in Claire. I don't think, obviously he's not in Maddie, and I really don't think he's in Xavier, and clearly he didn't go, wherever. So I don't think he's in what is it, Deborah Van Price or Deborah?
Maybe he's in that old lady that flatlined the hospital.
And that's because we saw her body jump out, right? So we saw that.
And then the crash car came, so she could have lived, and he could have jumped out there if he was in the hospital.
Yeah, that was the one.
But how would he get to the hospital from the fields?
Through the foundry.
That's the one thing I wanted to ask you guys about, though, and I know we're not at that because we're talking about it. I'll ask you now. I was curious about, it seemed to me that when he was sucked into the furnace or whatever, and he popped out in the hospital, I kind of assumed that was like the library, right? Like it spit him out. But a live person didn't see him. A dead person saw him because she was like not in her body. So that's a good point. Maybe that's why she wasn't in her body. Maybe it was to say that he was like temporarily in there. Who knows? I kind of think that whatever happened, like, either it hasn't happened yet or we haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? Because I got the opinion what they were implying in this episode is that because her scar potentially moves, like I think he's traveling from scar to scar. I don't even know that he's necessarily in anybody right now, but I don't know. I was just really surprised that like there was nothing about that part of it in this episode. Like I really thought that somebody was going to turn out to be him and we'd find out before the end of the episode, and they didn't do that. So
I actually agree, but now that I'm hearing you say it, which I totally agree with, how they always have to find somebody that's not like the lowest of their low, the most, the most with the most to spare, I guess is the best way. So what if he's been lingering around but hasn't hopped into, Deborah, the principal woman, Deborah Price? Because she's really at her lowest low. I don't think he jumped into Olivia. And I don't really, to be honest, I really don't think he jumped into any of our main characters unless he's really acting really well. And I don't think he's known them well enough to play them off as well as we saw in this episode. So like you said, he could just be like kind of laying low and ready to jump in. Because I don't think you have to go like body to body. It's not like the Denzel movie or whatever that you go body to body. I think like you can just.
I love that movie. That is one of my favorite movies.
I love Fallen. I didn't know if we could say a lot. Yeah, I don't think it's like Fallen where you have to like touch somebody and like.
No, I don't think it's. You know what I like about that movie though? It's got when I say bad ending, it's got like an unhappy ending, but it's a great ending, even though it's not a good ending. If that makes sense, I love that movie.
Yeah, that and Seven. The same thing for Seven.
Yeah, it's like
it's the same thing. Like it's like almost like a Greek tragedy, like the way it plays out, even though it's not. But so I think like he can just jump out of the body and kind of like lay low in the like dead world, even though he might be stuck in one area. Maybe he's learned how to get out from one area to another. Last week we were talking about how the scars are almost like portals, right? Almost like wormholes that take you to different areas. Just like they had a map around the school, he might have a map around the farm or the hospital, even underground where things link up, because he's one of the oldest ones there that we've seen so far. So I don't know. I think he might just be lingering and he jumped into somebody that we haven't seen yet. But as of this episode, everybody we saw looked like it was pretty much themselves. But I think
but that old lady would be cool if that old lady was walking around.
That would be really cool. Or maybe he jumped into her just right now. But I think Jennifer Tilly has the most to spare after this episode. So I think
she's the big cheese too.
Yeah, I think he'll go into her, especially if he wants to. He think he might be able to negotiate their deal better or like force Kyle because he knows things that Kyle doesn't know. So I think that would be a really good way for them to continue on with the story. Who knows? I'm just saying.
Do you think his ring has anything to do with it? Is my other question, because they made a point of showing Kyle take off the ring
I think that's his
and set
key.
it on that tray. Yeah,
I
I
think
know, but
that's
I mean, do you
his key.
think like maybe him traveling in between people, like does he need the ring? Was my question. I was kind of
Oh,
wondering.
I would think so, just like they need the watch. I would think that's his quote unquote watch. Like I would compare it mostly, not even just to a key. I would compare it to the watch.
Well, they showed it a couple. I mean, to me, it seemed like they were
He put
highlighting
it on
when
the
Kyle
tray and
was
everything.
and put on the
Yeah,
tray.
he put it on
Yeah.
the
I
tray.
thought that Deb took it, and we're not in order. We're getting ahead. I thought she took it, but I rewatched it. She didn't. It was still on the
Yeah.
tray when she left.
You're gonna see you're gonna see that old lady walk in and take that ring.
Yeah, we might.
Correct.
Didn't last episode he say that there? I didn't know if he was bluffing or not, but didn't he say that there's multiple rings that look exactly the same to that one? So does he have multiple rings? Was my question. I was like,
I don't know
"Ooh,
what this is from.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember something about multiple rings. I know he kept them.
when they were talking in the living room, and she's like, I found the ring. He's like, that could be any ring. He's like, and there's multiple rings that look just like that. Like that was his excuse for why the ring meant nothing. So I didn't know if he was bluffing or if I'm
I
like,
thought he
wow, I
was
wonder
just
if there
bluffing on
are.
that.
Yeah, and that's why
Yeah,
I was asking. I don't
I
remember if I asked last week or not. I think he was bluffing, but now after this episode, I'm like, I wonder if he's got like multiple rings like hidden or stashed in different places. Like he
I
was
don't know.
able to take
Know what
something
he's
out
doing.
like
He
Yuri
would have
did.
made more keys. I just was curious because the way they kept showing the ring, it made me wonder. All right, so it starts out with after he had shot himself in the foot, and again, I'm kind of assuming that he had to cause some kind of trauma, maybe to jump bodies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know because it was never explained, but that was my theory at this point. But they do get him to the hospital and know that they need to get Kyle into that body before it's empty for too long, because then it might not work. So
yeah, I love this.
Oh.
I love the beginning here before we get too far in, where it kind of zoomed to the truck and they were all, Xavier and her were talking. They took off their shirts and put them in the truck. Then it zoomed over to Nicole and Claire coming in, and then it zoomed back to them, and then it was them walking by the truck and then walking into the hallway with that really good music that's a booming.
Yeah, they
some
keep
good
doing
cinematography.
The way they're doing it in this episode, I think is what you're talking about. I didn't get any of the scene, but you mean like when they're kind of zooming close into their face?
You didn't get any of the first 10 minutes of this episode?
No, I didn't get. I'm asking, is that what you're saying when they were zooming close to their faces? I didn't get any of the close-ups in this scene. I didn't know if that's
okay.
What
well, I meant just the zooming of the camera from like
just the
them
zooming.
coming in the truck. It started aerial on top where you could see his body, and then it went down and zoomed around there, and then it went back to where Nicole and Claire were, and then it followed them through the hallway, which was really cool because I like to have scenes where actors have to walk and talk at the same time. It's really great. Because we usually just sit in the car and auto shop, and stuff.
But as you're saying that, the way that they did zoom around like that, because I noticed what I thought you were talking about, because I noticed later on in the episode we do it with Claire and Nicole's brother, and they do it with Xavier and his father. They do like these weird close-ups of their faces, and they do it with, I think, with Maddie's mother and Maddie at the end too. Just the way the camera is looking at him is kind of weird, and like in a good way. Like it's different. But now, as you were talking about the way the camera moves around, is it possible that they're moving the camera different? Like maybe he's watching them, like that's supposed to be sort of his point of view. I don't know that they were implying that, but as you were saying that, it kind of made me think that would be interesting.
Oh, I thought it was an aesthetic choice.
It might be. I thought about it as you were saying it. I'm like, that would be cool if it was supposed to be him watching, because we don't know what happened to him. So
because it made me feel like the first 10 minutes of this were like a movie more than a TV show. The way that was moving around and the way that went into the basement and everything with the nurse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was real exciting, and that music was real exciting.
No, it was. It shows a lot of good cinematography. So we go down to the basement. I think that, did you see this coming whenever the elevator was going to crash? Because they're like, how did you die? And she's like, oh, the elevator broke.
On the first day she worked there. That's the worst. Like on her very first day she died, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks really bad.
Yeah.
Really didn't finish the elevator the first day. It wasn't finished.
Well, now they
Well, they're
have to,
running.
every time they go into that scar now, they're going to have to crash down to the ground. Like that
Yep.
sucks too, right? Um, but they do go down, and that's, well, it kind of goes back and forth, but that's where they see some of the forgotten. So here is, are these in order? Yeah, I guess they are, just a little wrong. She wants to talk. I think this is where she's saying she wants to talk to Kyle or Casey. I guess the adult version's Casey. And Xavier's dad's like, no, he's resting. You got to wait. And she thinks that she supersedes everybody. Like she's even telling him what to do. She really bosses people around, doesn't she? I love Jennifer Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to figure out what to do, and the father's trying to figure out what's going on. And then meanwhile, in the ghost world, Wally and Martin are talking about trying to find out where Simon is. And Martin's or I just call him Martin because that's what I have in my notes. Mr. Martin says that he can't just disappear. Like even when they died, they didn't just disappear. So they, he's got to be somewhere, and that they'll find him. But Wally is kind of through a lot of this flirting with the idea of taking his door because it might lead him to Simon. He's hoping. And it's funny. I hadn't even realized Simon wasn't in the episode at all until like we were talking about it. There was so much going on, like I didn't even think about it.
I thought that was like a huge red flag for me. I'm like, because that's like the cliffhanger that we left off with last episode, right? Like wondering where the heck he is. So I was waiting to find out where he was, and when we didn't see him the whole episode, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, how many seasons is this going to be? Because I wonder if they're going to introduce like another dimension, realm, world, something because of the forgotten, right? Like where do they eventually go if that's like another thing, or is he down in the land of the forgotten? Because they've already mentioned it, so it wouldn't be like completely brand new, but where could Simon be? Because clearly he doesn't follow, he's no longer following the boundaries of being like enclosed in whatever place that everybody died in, right? He can't really leave the school. He can't go to the hospital or anything like that. So if he's not seen there, where did he go? Obviously, he had to move and pass through to somewhere else. He's got to be in another dimension of some kind. Doesn't mean he moved on. Doesn't mean he's in hell, but he's in another dimension or somewhere past where they
you were still thinking about him though through that. I guess that what I'm saying is like at the beginning I started off like that, and then I just kind of forgot because I was so invested in everything else. I completely forgot.
I wound up watching it earlier this morning on my drive to work, like listening to it while it was like on the seat of my car. I can't really look at it, but I heard the ending and I was like, that's right. I got to know where Simon is. Only because of that did I probably remember, because I was remembering certain parts of last week, and that wasn't my interest. Was where's Simon? My interest was more in the story and the white-eyed guy and finding out where Van Hike went, who got shot. Like that's where I was kind of in, but I was like, wait, where the hell is Simon? Where'd he go? And that's the only reason why I remembered probably for tonight, is because I was like, wait, we didn't see him at all this episode.
Whereas I had in my notes, where's Wally's shorts?
So do you think that Wally went through his door?
He's not wearing his shorts. Where did his shorts go?
Do you think he's trying to come back? Is he finding a way to come back, or do you think he's gone and done?
What, Wally?
Yeah.
I think, okay, this is my theory. I think he's going to find Simon and maybe do a switch like him for Simon, and Simon will go back out because he loves Maddie and he knows Maddie loves Simon, and he's going to rescue Simon for her. And then he's going to go to the other realm, or maybe he's a forgotten. Who knows?
I agree. I think the only reason why I agree, I think the only reason why he went through his door was because he thought there's another realm, another dimension, something more than this, and I can figure out and come back. Like Dawn and everybody else, obviously they haven't chosen to come back. Why would they? Yeah. But he has a reason to come back, and he's gonna figure out a way to come back. I thought exactly that. He's having his that was his hero moment. Like when he walked through the door, it was like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think he's probably gonna find Simon. But will he come back? I don't know. I hope so. Otherwise, that's like even more tragic than it's already been. Like their love story is already too tragic. I'm trying to fix my camera. So yeah, he better come back. Okay, so at the hospital now, this is where, he's asking him what happened. But this is where I was asking you guys, I was a little confused. It seems to me clear from this scene, and it sounds like from what you guys said, maybe this wasn't clear before, but he must have told his father what happened and he just didn't believe him.
Yeah,
I think he did in the kitchen scene when he finally came home. They're in the kitchen and his father tells him to stop talking about it because he doesn't believe in that. And Xavier's like, all right, I guess I kind of tried. I was going to bring that up here, how it parallels when Maddie tells her mom and she believes her.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought from what you guys were saying that he said something happened but didn't say what. That's where I was confused, but he must have explained it.
See, I almost thought that him and Sandra and Mr. Anderson almost came to a we might believe in this stuff moment in last season.
Right, last season, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he said, and I might believe in this moment, it seems like.
But then but I feel they're still kind of open to it. Well, I know Mr. Anderson will be open to it, of course, but
Mr. Anderson believes
because it happened to him.
I think her mother believes it by the end of the episode, but I think right now he's kind of like, something's going on. I believe something weird is going on. Like maybe he doesn't know what or doesn't necessarily think it's ghosts, but something's going on. And he told him, this is where he tells him about the picture that Livia is gonna probably push around. That
I don't really understand this whole picture plot line.
Well, somehow, I guess the idea was, which this is not that easy to fake or that hard to fake, so I'm not sure that that's really a legit thing. But that picture
Do we know
has a timestamp of when Xavier was hit by the car? But a timestamp isn't that hard to change. So
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Scarlet, do you have a theory or a reason? Do we know why Olivia hates Maddie so much?
I don't know. Other than the blue hearts, I'm a mean girl. I don't know.
That's what I mean. I feel like there might be a twist.
I do have kind of a theory. She wanted to impress her mom.
And why does her mom hate the school and want to bulldoze it so bad? What happened there?
She wants the money.
I think Jennifer Tilly's a demon because she almost turned into a demon this episode. I thought her eyes were going to turn red when she started yelling. I'm like, oh my God, she's going to turn into something.
Do you think she's related to Van Height?
Do you think what?
She's related to Van Height? So. They have the same color hair, like that darkish color hair, and they have it parted where he was like parted and hers is like parted and curled up.
I have no idea. Maybe. I mean, maybe she's the one who's inherited all the stuff and needs to make the family proud by bulldozing the school.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, her main thing is money, right? I mean, it could just be money, but it could be something else.
It could just be as simple as money. I just after last week, we were kind of waiting for like the big Charlie reveal, and I feel like it was kind of like a nothing burger. So yeah, it was like a womp. So I'm like, all right, maybe there's still going to be a big reveal, and that threw us off. Like I'm still waiting and hoping that they give us.
Yeah, you guys were asking me. I'm like, I get it, but it wasn't. I couldn't say that.
It wasn't like Sandra was like, "Oh, Charlie Van Height, you remember him?"
Yeah, no, it was just some
Charlie Hunter Price.
Unless I missed something, I definitely didn't.
I think it was to show that she knew him, and there would be no way she knew that last name, but still, it was kind of like it could have been a role, because he talks about having an older brother, and you think, okay, who's his older brother, and what's the last name is going to connect to that, and maybe it's someone we know. No.
Yeah.
And I don't think so.
No, I agree with you. I think it was just to say that she knew him. And I guess that made her believe her a little bit easier. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really wasn't much of anything. So I'm not sure why they said that was a big reveal, because that to me wasn't really that big of a reveal, but it is what it is.
It's a reveal.
But anyway, I don't think that this picture is that much evidence. And I don't think it's really that hard to change the metadata on a photo to say it was taken at a certain time. I don't know. I mean,
and plus Xavier doesn't press charges. He doesn't press charges.
Doesn't really matter.
Does it matter? Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. Well, I guess he's just kind of saying if this goes viral and people talk about this, like maybe he's saying I got to do something, or at least that I can't.
Well, didn't she go back home the next day? Like she went from here to Janet's farm, burned it down, right? And then got like guilty. And when they came to like check out the fire, she went back to that like the next night, like literally in 24 hours. She was, hi, mom. So
I thought she went to that party first, and then
that's maybe you're right.
and got a ride from
might
those
have been
girls
2
or
days.
something. Yeah,
But I'm saying
Yeah,
that kind of a picture can be explained away.
Yeah, I still think the only thing this could prove is like, yeah, maybe she was at the party, but I don't know that it could really. Yeah, I don't know. This to me isn't really evidence. I just don't get it. I don't think it's that big a deal, but
And not for nothing, I was kind of disappointed. Like, you're the sheriff. Why? And that's your son. So, and you know that he wants to help Madison. So, like, why are you worried? Take care of it. Pull your big boy pants up. We already know, like, half these offices are corrupt anyway. What are you making these? Why are you asking teenagers for help? Freaking act like the man you claim to be and handle it, shit. Sorry,
no,
that's my personal thing.
I think he more meant like if she sends it around to the school, he can't control that.
There's cyberbullying. Charge that bitch and move on.
You know,
I'm sorry. I'm like, you are a man. Why are you burdening teenagers that are clearly stressed with your problems that you have the office and the badge to handle? Let's be realistic. That's the only like thing that irks me with the show. I'm like, in every other show, as the sheriff, you'd be able to like wipe it under the rug or do something about it. You're bringing it to the king and stressing him out. That's me. I'm like, please. If an adult is going to a teen for help, don't believe that shit.
yeah,
You're the adult. You don't need help from a teen like that, unless he's like shoveling your driveway.
This is what I meant about the weird close-ups, or not weird close-ups, but the way they did the close-ups. They just looked a little different. Like they were like really close to them.
Unless you
Oh my
want to know
gosh,
who's living.
what if Van Hyke jumped into him because he showed up on the scene, right? Oh, into the father.
I hadn't thought of that.
God. Just because they're doing the close-ups like they had done earlier, if you wouldn't have said the close-up thing and had his face up, I looked up and that has to be the most wrinkles I've seen on him yet, which just means older. So that's why I thought Van Hyte. Oh my gosh, what if he's in him and he's like trying to figure out what Xavier knows because Xavier was there? Oh, creepy. Oh, as his father.
Yeah, I don't know. I only, to be honest, I only thought about the camera thing was when Scarlet was talking about the way they moved it.
Yeah.
I don't know that it means anything. I think I kind of agree. I think it might just be a stylistic choice. I just noticed it and it stood out.
Or now we're
to me.
thinking everybody's Van Hyte.
Yeah, now everybody's Van Hyte. Yeah,
everybody
I don't
knows.
know. That's why it surprises me they didn't reveal anything about him in this episode. Like I really expected
He might just be in the scar and just out.
maybe he's waiting, or maybe he did go into that
Maybe
woman
he
in the
went
hospital.
through and just passed on.
Random woman.
Or like you said, maybe
Well, that
he's
I
jumping
kinda
through scar. Maybe he's like just jumping through scars right now. He might not even be in any place that they've shown so far today.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't tell anything, so it's hard to really get any clues on that front, I guess. There's where they're down in the basement and they talk about the forgotten that are in the foundry down there.
I really like this nurse. I love the nurse character. She's so bristled.
She's what?
Bristled.
Oh, bristled. Yeah.
She's bristled.
She is.
A cigarette. Though I think that her and Rhonda could like share a cigarette, have a little smoke break, and probably talk it up.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Although she can't get to the school and Rhonda can't get to the hospital, so
they can't be that power couple that have my dreams.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. Although I don't think they'd do that anyway, just because the actresses are such different ages. But I see what you're saying. It'd be cool to see them hanging out, though.
A plutonic relationship, Jamie.
Okay, well, the way you said it, I didn't know. It made it sound like you meant that. I'm like,
like partners in crime, like a crime fighting duel.
All right, that I can see. But Xavier is trying to rush to find Kyle to get him back in his body. That's what that seems about they're talking about.
Oh,
and they talk to Mr. Anderson for a second because he's going to go pick up.
I have
Maddie's
a question
mom.
about Mr. Anderson. He went through the same thing Maddie did, and he's not seeing anything, and he doesn't have any residual scar things going on, or does he just not? Is he just not telling her about that?
That's a good question.
I thought of that too, but he was only in that state and in the situation for a couple of hours. It wasn't very long. Maddie was like that for days and weeks. So if if they don't explain it to me, that's good enough, knowing like he was only there for a little bit, so he kind of doesn't have any residual anything. But like Maddie's got like residual mucus built up. Like she's got like
visual mucus. I like that. Yeah, I don't think he maybe had the time to have like a scar.
Right.
Like hers is partially coming from her
He
scar.
doesn't have any buildup.
right, exactly.
Really interesting I never thought of. So her scar is her key though, too, right? Like they're connected because her scar, like her key is what's glowing red. That's interesting. I hadn't really thought. I wonder if that like, is that why it moves? Because it's like one and the same? Is that maybe part of it? I don't know.
Do you
That's
think
what I thought they were implying, is that her scar. I mean, I guess her scar is in the boiler room though, so maybe that's not the case. But I just don't get why her key glows red. That's what I'm trying to understand.
I wonder if it's because of her mom. Because now we know that the key belongs to her mom. Is that what you're gonna say, Scarlett? Please go on.
Oh, because when she all this business happened with Janet entering her body and everything happened in the boiler room after she got angry at her mom. So her mom was kind of like the point that made her weaker. But now she knows the necklace is also given to her from her mom. So it has a lot to do with her mom.
Exactly.
That's all I really had to say.
Maybe.
Right.
No, I just was trying to understand. Like, I understand what Mr. Martin is saying about like it moving. I just don't understand like how it's somehow connected to the key, or at least I'm assuming it is. Like I said, since it glowed red, that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, she asks Mr. Anderson here if anything followed him when he went through, and he's like, no, that he's not having any problems. So yeah, we don't know.
It's interesting. The scar on his face is almost circular around his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really going to be a big scar, a big cut. Oh, so he's going to go pick up her mother. And then down in the basement again, and this is where he gets sucked in, and they're like, "Oh no!" And
I wasn't expecting that. Were you guys expecting that? I wasn't expecting that.
No, I definitely was not.
I was not either.
But that's why whenever.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I wasn't expecting it to act like the water hole that drops them off in the library. I thought I was not expecting it at all. And then when I saw it, I was like, well, that's fire, like, right? And that's the opposite of water. So I definitely didn't think it would be exactly the same, because a lot of things we see in the show have parallels with duality. So I was like, all right, fire and ice or fire and water. So I'm like, he's not going to come up in the library. He's got to come out somewhere else. That I kind of figured out from him going through fire, but I was not expecting that at all. I was actually wanting more story about the foundry.
Yeah, maybe if we get a season 4, hopefully we'll get more about that. But yeah, as soon as he popped out, I'm like, that's like the water in the library. Yeah. But then, and this is what I was saying earlier, when I thought about it, I'm a little confused though, because he was seen by a dead person, not a live person. Like I thought at first that the woman in the room was going to see him, but then I'm like, no, that's the woman laying in the bed. So that's not. He
didn't even say it's okay or anything to her, Kyle. I mean,
yeah, I know, poor lady.
You could welcome her. I thought like what Jen was saying, maybe there'd be a little ash and little sparks from the foundry that came through, like the water and the from the church.
I wonder if there's more meaning to it, like, you know, like through baptism, water is supposed to signify like purification and cleansing. So maybe that's why they found the library where there's knowledge.
Fire, technically.
Right. And that's why they see a live person, because they obviously have unfinished business in the live world. But the fact that he went through fire, which signifies more like hell and damnation, and he came out and he saw more dead people that can't give him any answers, can't give him any clarity, cannot move him forward. So I thought that that's where it kind of went. It kind of like parallels what was going on. It almost like, you know, like when you go through a faraway tree, depending on what you have on you, depends on what you get.
See, this is gonna come back to
see,
yeah,
you can purify stuff with fire though too, Jen.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Question though, and this is kind of a really random question, but I'm looking at the details on my monitor. Isn't that like an organ like cooler?
The red one, yes.
Why is there just like a random organ cooler that they have sitting out on the table left?
Maybe they put something in that old lady. Maybe they gave her a kidney or something.
Maybe, but they wouldn't have left it there. That's like medical waste.
What?
Yeah, but it's medical waste. They wouldn't have just left it there. It just seems odd it's sitting there.
They don't recycle.
I think it's just a mistake from the prop department. I don't know.
Well, they don't bring it there in the thing.
Yeah.
They bring it in the thing, and then they put it in the lady, and then the empty thing is sitting there.
And yeah, maybe that's why that little woman in there right now that we see on the screen is like cleaning up, and she hasn't gotten to that section yet. Maybe.
I guess that's possible. It just seems to me that if they put an organ in her, number one, it would have been done in an operating room, not in the middle of that room, and that they would have taken it with them.
Technicalities.
I'm just nitpicking. I'm saying it's probably just a prop department mistake. It's standing out to me now that I'm looking at it. That's all.
Jamie, what's the painting behind you?
I feel like this is more pumpkin stuff. More of the pumpkins, Jamie.
What?
What's the painting behind that?
Yeah, you could be right. It could be like the pumpkins. It's a mill.
Van Height.
Waterfall.
Okay.
It actually kind of looks like the mill we have
it's
here.
Van Height sitting by a fire, by the split river.
I couldn't tell if that was a person standing by a waterfall or if there was like a light coming through the building. I wasn't sure.
It looks like there might be a reflection. No, that's a tree. I thought that was a reflection of that woman, but no, it's a tree.
No, that's Van Height watching
you. Maybe.
Could be.
I was going to say, Kimberly says the red block is for short. I've never seen them use a lunchbox type thing like that for that. I don't know. But then again, I'm not diabetic and I don't know. Maybe you're right.
It'd be full of liquid, right? To like sterilize it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I assumed that Kimberly just meant like for needles or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm going off on a tangent.
We should talk about this longer.
Hey, look, I'm going through the photos and looking at them big on the monitor. I noticed all the little crazy details that probably mean nothing. So it's not from. Just ignore me.
I'm preparing for from. Leave me alone. I'm sorry.
That lady's Van Height. That lady. Take a look at that lady, Jamie. Go back a picture. That's Van Height now. I'm just gonna say.
You know, though,
I see that lady.
I seriously wonder though if like he could be in there just waiting and like it really could be him, but not necessarily that we're gonna like find out anything. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's just like the pit stop. I don't know.
Well, not
take
for
a
nothing.
good look at her. Take a good look at her, and if you see her
not for nothing. Not for nothing. It's after dark, right? So I'm not gonna get too fresh. But imagine a man for the first time being in a woman's body. Look where he's touching. I've got boobs.
Yeah, that is funny. She kind of.
Where am I? Oh,
where am I? Oh my gosh! What are these?
Yeah. Either way, Kyle is covered in soot, but he has come up, and Xavier's like, "We gotta hurry." And then, meanwhile, let's see. This is where Claire is saying that she's going to find out stuff from her stepdad. And Nicole, I think, is going to take Maddie wherever it was Maddie needed to go. I don't remember. Tells him she's telling him, I'm looking at my notes. This is where she's also telling them about Van Height and the ring that he had and how he's been body hopping and all that. So, yeah. And also about her, I don't know if she told them about her vision, but I have here about slipped into visions, turned red back in the boiler room. Oh yeah, because she says that he went through, you know what? I know what it is. I'm in the wrong part. They're taking her to the school. This is where she's saying it. So I apologize. That wasn't from that. She's telling them about Van Height in the ring and about her vision, because they didn't know about her visions. Only Wally did. And she says that Van Height.
The last scene they actually mentioned her stepfather being named Jeff, which a lot of people struck out and said, "Oh, his name's Jeff," but I already knew his name was Jeff Lehman, so seemed to be a big deal for some people.
Oh, because you had mentioned before, was that him or his partner? Yeah, I guess that is his name.
Yeah.
But anyway, she also says,
real fast.
Wait, sorry, what?
You just kind of skipped over it real fast. You're like, here we are in the car, and now we're over here.
Well, sorry. I told you before, slow me down if I went too far. I didn't think really that, I thought kind of the only point about that is that she's going to go talk to Jeff, really. Or go spy on Jeff, not talk to Jeff. Mm-hmm. Spy on Jeff.
She really, Claire really hates him.
She
like,
does.
And she does kind of start to explain it, especially in this episode. And she's been like hinting at it as we've gone on through the episodes. But Do you think there's something more than what she's just saying? Or will there be more than what just she's saying? What do you girls think about that?
Are you asking, like, is he maybe done something to her? Is that what you're getting at?
No, not to her. Like, do you think he's like involved with some kind of mafia,
Oh,
like something bigger than just, like, so the way he's described, he doesn't sound like he's this mastermind, right? But obviously there's something going on. So is there somebody else that's helping, that's like, making this happen? Again, I'm sorry, Epstein files. I'm always thinking that there's,
I mean, it's possible. I just kind of took it at face value that he wants to make money off the school. So he's paying, Debbie to give him the information about the school, and then he'll give her a kickback. Because I mean, that happens. It's still illegal, but it happens.
Right.
I think she's going to get her dad in trouble, her stepdad in trouble too. I kind of wonder if that blow back on her later.
Well, I guess why does he want it? Like, what is he? Is he a politician? Like, who does he know? Like, what is the why?
Developer, right? That's what I got out of it. He works for a company that develops, like, you know how like in other movies and stuff where they are trying to kick people out of their houses because they want a certain area because they're going to develop it and make lots of money. That's how I took it. I think he just wants the plot.
I might be thinking too much into it. I'm thinking that there's a corporation behind him or a person behind him that's like, oh, hey, I know where you live. Why don't you try to do this to make some money? And I guess I'm always looking for like another twist. I really need to
I don't know. But, it's interesting because now that I said that, though, wasn't it that Van Height was trying to buy the land under the church?
Yes.
There's a parallel to that. I don't know that it's connected, but it's kind of interesting now that I think about it. But that's kind of how I looked at it. Like, I think he just wants the land, and he's like, I'll give you money if you help me get the land. That I didn't really put too much thought into it, I guess.
And it could absolutely be that simple. I might be absolutely looking for something that isn't there, and I'm okay with the simple. But again, From is coming, and I'm preparing.
No, I'm doing this thing. I know on our other shows, Karen
or
always
Jeff
No, I'm just teasing. I do tend to do that.
Jeff could have a client that really, really wants it, and we'll find out who that is later.
Good point. Very good point, Scarlet. Absolutely.
Like somebody else that was down below, Top Hat guy was down there.
Yeah.
Or could it just be that maybe, or could it just be maybe that now that you said that, like maybe Van Height as Kyle, maybe he's his client.
Oh,
I think they're working together. I think that it's J&L is the Jeff Lehman, Kyle Hansen thing. Jensen, I mean. That's the development agency. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. He probably is in on it. I hadn't really thought about that, but yes, especially because we already know that Hunter Price was, working with both of them. So that actually makes sense. Or not working with both of them, but using both of them, whatever you want to.
Right. I agree, Scarlett. Good point.
Yeah, that is good.
I mean, if that's true.
Well, yeah, we're theorizing.
Allegedly, could be, possibly.
Yeah, we don't know. But as I was getting ready to say before, though, she's telling them here, about Van Height and the ring, but also that he went through a door that looked like her front door. This also made me laugh because we were talking so much at length about what door was that. And it's like, her front door? What?
I was going to mention that, Jamie, because I went back and watched so much of episodes or like 10-second floors looking for that door because I said I would. And I did. And I'm like, I can't freaking find it. It wasn't the same door that Dr. Martin had gone through when he was with Maddie. So I could not find this door. When I heard him say that, I was like, you gotta be effing kidding me. I have not checked that, but I was so bad.
Because I know we were talking so much about it. It's like, that's why I think this whole episode's funny, because we also thought he was going to pop up in one of the main characters' bodies. And it's like, we thought too hard about it, I think. It just, we were making it a lot more difficult than it was.
I agree.
But yeah, it's her front door. But that part confuses me why he was at her front door, unless it has to do with her scar moving. That's the only thing I can think is like he's going from scar to scar. And since hers goes with her, that like maybe at some point she was at her house and he went there. I don't know.
Unless he does have like a fallen thing going, even though he doesn't jump into her body, he can jump through her scar because he's touched her, been next to her. I'm just saying.
Yes. I definitely think it seems like the kids at the school go through scars. And, we talked last time about like, could they somehow get to the scar at the hospital or whatever? And I don't remember exactly how we got on that conversation, but I remember we were talking about maybe they could expand the world and like they will go outside the school. This made me think right away, oh, well, they're going to find out they can go beyond into other scars. And that's how they'll travel like next season, maybe if there is a next season. At least that's my theory.
No, yeah, I agree with you. We did bring that up last week. There's got to be a way for him to travel through from different scars. We were talking about that there's got to be like a portal that they don't really know about yet, right? Because they didn't really know about the map and being able to follow Dr. Martin, and Dr. Martin didn't really know about that until he did it. And I think the reason why we came up on the topic was because of the boy, Dr. Martin's friend. What is it? It starts with an R. Ralph. Because of Ralph, that's how we got on the topic last week.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, because we were like, he was outside, but now he's inside the school. Like we were talking about like how he can kind of get around, I think, at some point, and that's where we came to it. And
yeah, that's a little confusing to me. I guess what we had guessed was right, that he was in Ralph's body until the bus crash, and then he hopped into Kyle, I guess. Right. What I got out of it. It wasn't super explained.
Now, do you think it's interesting if Ralphie wound up becoming that bus driver, even though it was Van Hike? Do you think that the reason why the water pulled Dr. Martin the night that he did and it killed the bus driver is because it's trying to reunite where he's supposed to really be?
I don't know. I kind of thought maybe that like it was Van Hike that pulled him through. Oops, Scarlet disconnected. I didn't realize that. Hold on, Scarlet. There we go. Let me see if I can remove you. Can you talk, Scarlet? I want to make sure we can hear you.
Scarlet?
Yeah, I just dropped out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I disconnected your other one, so they're not both connected. I kind of, and as I said, this is the part I don't understand. He was in Ralph, so I kind of thought that like he maybe but again, Van Hike wasn't down in the water though, so I don't know. Like I thought that he pulled Mr. Martin in front of the bus to make the bus crash because he wanted a different body. Like, but I don't know that makes sense. But that was what I had thought up until this point, and now I'm like more confused. So I don't know.
So going off of what you just said, I don't know if it's because he wanted Mr. Martin, because I don't think he really knew Mr. Martin. No, I think he was like, if I'm in this body, I can attract whoever knows the body, like soul connection kind of a thing. Like they obviously had a connection and they knew each other, or he was there. So there's some kind of a residue left behind, like Maddie's getting this residue. So I'm trying to figure out how they were going to link the residue. So I'm like, what if Ralphie had a residue from Mr. Martin? Because remember, Mr. Martin found him and was like shaking him and then went to get help, and then his body was just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if like that, like so what I was saying is it kind of like a fallen thing here, where now that they've touched, they can get that residue, and because they have a connection, it's his body all along that he was waiting to. Maybe that's why he took the job as a bus driver. He's like, I gotta wait till this guy comes out.
Okay.
Just get in my car because we have a connection. Otherwise, I can't get out.
Okay, now you're saying something else I hadn't thought of, and I don't know if you're just insinuating this or you got this from somewhere. But okay,
nowhere.
So I thought.
I've been so busy, right? I haven't looked at everything.
Ralph. I was saying that I thought that like they made him pop up in front of the bus to crash the bus because he wanted a new body and he switched to Kyle. But you're saying that you think
they're tethered some way because of a soul connection. Yes.
They never showed. I guess he could be. I never really thought about that.
If Van Hike jumped into Ralph's body, he got up and then walked away. He had to live a full life. And by the time Ralph was getting old, that was 2004, and he was in the hospital and then jumped bodies into Kyle's body, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right? So then at that point...
That's even more tragic than Kyle. That little kid, like, not only is his person... His body.
I'm laughing because I'm like, since last week, Ralphie got no life, but his body was lived through.
Yeah,
but he maybe could have went back into him if they knew that. That's why that's even more tragic. So I don't know.
Absolutely,
I like that idea though.
Yeah, I came up so special. That's why I was bawling when Dr. Martin was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, he's sorry because he could have figured that out forever ago and gotten you back into your body. But instead, this Van Dyke did live body out, like it through it's dead and a new body. Like Ralph can never go back. And if they had figured this shit out earlier, Ralph could have had a chance. I'm just saying. So because of that, there's got to be some type of a tethered connection. So maybe Ralph had become a bus driver, like that. The body of Ralph had become a bus driver, and that was Van Dyke. And then Mr. Martin came through and knocked him out, and that's how he was able to continue on through Kyle, because for some reason maybe Kyle was around in that area, because we don't know how he jumped into Kyle's body except that it had to be.
I kind of wonder though, I love this backstory that you're giving them, but I'm kind of wonder if we're ever going to find out. Like
I have a good backstory. I have a good backstory. It was 1930s. He got hit by lightning. He kind of sailed down the river to the next couple towns down. It's 1930s. They think he's an orphan. They take care of him. He goes back around Split River under a assumed name, gets a plot of land, starts a dairy business.
Oh, girl, I love this.
He gets to about 85, and he's like, "Oh crap! I gotta I gotta take care of this body." And then he hears there's a bus crash, so he gets himself to the hospital. But in the way, he's got he has a little bit of a heart attack or something. He gets pulled in.
I like that.
Yeah, he could have jumped the body. He could have jumped into Kyle at the hospital. You know what? That doesn't. He has to have jumped into Kyle at the hospital.
He had to have jumped into the hospital, but how did he get to the hospital? Because maybe he was the bus driver.
Yeah, because I was thinking he jumped into it with the bus, but he didn't. Because if he
I just think he was old.
Yeah,
maybe he was in hospice.
But what made him
possible that, and it's also possible that he went from Ralph to another person.
Wait, you want to hear?
But Quinn only said two people in this scene, so I just went with what Quinn said.
Wait, I just had a huge mind explosion. You know how we're talking about Ralph, right? And Ralph is Dr. Martin's best friend. So, and Ralph driving through, Dr. Martin was pulled to where Ralph was, causing the bus accident. At least that's in my theory. So Simon and Maddie are best friends.
Yeah.
So when Maddie went through what she was going through in the ambulance, that's maybe what sucked Simon into the scar. So maybe Dr. Martin, that's how he was sucked into Ralph's scar. I'm just saying, there's got to be something that with the connection of best friends and helping each other out, because they were definitely pulled to each other. And I think that's what I personally think that's what the show is trying to show us, that there's a connection.
That would be interesting, but I also think it's possible too that he was in Ralph, then he was in somebody, because I got the opinion from what he said to Maddie that he's body hopped a few times, so he may have been in people between Ralph and Kyle.
That's a few times.
Yeah,
Ralph, Kyle, twice, few times.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it's possible.
It just gets all kind of timey-wimey if you keep on jumping from body to body,
That's what made me think of Colin.
No, but you know what? Nurse body at the hospital or something,
Are we under agreement that if he jumps bodies, it's got to be a body that's in despair? He can't jump into a happy-go-lucky, let's go, guys. I'm all about school spare. He's got to jump into something that's damn, I want to kill myself right now.
Well, yeah,
some kind of Eeyore versus Winnie the Pooh.
But you know what, though? Janet pushed Maddie out of her body, though. She wasn't hurt, was she?
Yeah, because she just fell with her mom, and she thought she was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so emotionally hurt, you're saying it works.
Yes, emotionally or mentally hurt to the point where they have lost all hope.
Yeah, her mom just spent all her college money.
Her college money. She'd this girl's her senior.
That her dad willed to her when her dad died.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch this stuff.
Yeah, not for nothing, Maddie has a really big reason to hit her mom. And I know I'm a female and I shouldn't say that, but I'm about being a human. I don't care what sex you are. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. And what Maddie's mom did was not good. She pretty much in that boiler room told Maddie, everything that you thought you had and was working towards that your dad left you and I told you had, I squandered away and you have nothing. So in a couple of months when you graduate, you're going to have nothing but to stay here and be with me. And that's what I want because I'm a miserable alcoholic bitch and you're going to stay with me and I'm never going to let you leave me. Like that is gotta be like the only imprisonment sentence. That's all Maddie heard. I am now imprisoned. I just received a slave-like death sentence to remain here after I thought that there was some glimmer of hope and light in the freaking at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, she's not being the best mom.
That's why she liked Janet so much when Janet was in Maddie's body.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was like the daughter that Sandra actually wanted.
Yeah, because she didn't. Right, because
Yeah.
she was just grateful that she had a home. Like she was just grateful to have a mom. Where Maddie was like, I've had to take care of you, and I all this time I thought I was going to be working my ass off to go somewhere because I can do something and not deal with your shit, and you just stole it all from me.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't even hers. Yeah,
and
yeah. Well, maybe hopefully they'll get along better after this, I guess. But I guess if she already spent the money, it's kind of a little late. I don't know, but hopefully she'll stay out of the booze now. I was just going to say, I have a note here I accidentally skipped before. I don't know that it's anything important, but before Kyle got sucked into the furnace, there was the whole thing with they found the footprints when they were trying to track how Van Hyten
somebody got in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if those footprints were fresh, because now that I'm saying that, were they supposed to be fresh footprints or from when she died? Maybe they were like now footprints. Like,
so because they were in mud, I immediately thought they were now footprints, but being that they're ghosts and things kind of holds whatever way they take them in, I don't know. And then they're definitely in, I don't want to say a sex, like man, like a gender, I guess I should say, not a sex, but I want to say a gender because it could be anything, but it's definitely the type of boot. Right, I think we can all look at that footprint and be like, "That's a boot."
Yeah, I was under the impression, because she said somebody got in through the elevator or whatever. I was under the impression that this is how they think Van Hyten originally got into Kyle's body. So, like, I think I thought when I watched this anyway, but now I'm questioning it. I thought that the footprints were supposed to have been from back then, because they were trying to track evidence of how he got in the elevator and ended up in Kyle's body. But I could be wrong. But that was how I took it the very first time I watched it, and now I'm questioning myself.
So if it's footprints, right, it can't be a ghost. It has to be an actual physical being, like an actual person.
Oh, but he could have been in Ralph at the time.
Right. So that's what I was gonna say. So it was probably Ralph's footprints going in that direction, and that's what we saw. You took the words right out of my mouth, Jamie. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I don't know. The only reason I think it's important is because at the end of the episode, the elevator's open, so somebody else came in again, probably him again. But we don't know whose body he's in, so we have to figure that out. All right. Oh, but that does mean though, but you know what? If somebody came in through the elevator again, doesn't that imply, and I'm wondering if they even thought of that, that's implying that whoever he's in now was somebody at the hospital, right?
Yes.
Ooh, I hadn't even,
which means that if he went from Ralph's body to Kyle's body.
No, I mean now. Like now, you know how at the end of the episode, the elevator's open again, right?
Right.
I assumed that meant she's like, oh no, somebody else got in, and that was Van Hyten this time.
Maybe that's why we haven't seen Simon. Holy shit! What if Simon's body he finally his body came to, and we just didn't see this whole episode, and they're rushing his body in, but Van Hyten jumped into Simon's body. Holy crap! I hope that's not what it is.
I don't know, but I guess what I'm getting at is that to me implies that whoever Van Hyten went into this time had to have been at the hospital, right?
Right. But who do you know that was going to the hospital?
Well, we know quite a few characters were at the hospital in this episode. I'm assuming it has to be somebody who was there. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like.
So we know Jennifer Tilly was there. Olivia was there.
The old lady's there.
The old lady's there. Maddie's there. Xavier's there.
Father's there.
The sheriff's there. Nicole and Claire don't go there, right?
No, they don't go in the hospital.
Yeah, they don't go in the hospital, so we can exclude them. So it's pretty much everybody else that we know that's alive.
Yeah. Everybody else. Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody else except for Nicole and Claire. So it could be the sheriff. It could be the old lady, like you say, Scarlet. or
That's
it
who
could
I'm rooting
be
for.
rooting old lady. There's something of from episode 1. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put that out there. Old lady.
Making too many connections here. Yeah.
Or it could be like, imagine we didn't see it. Did we hear any kind of ambulance? I can't speak. Oh my God, did you hear me? Did we hear any ambulance sirens?
I don't remember hearing a siren.
I don't either. Like I said, the only stretch I can think of is imagine, because no one knows where Simon's body is, right? Imagine they found Simon's body and they're rushing it back to the hospital. And Van Hike is like, ooh, I'll jump into his body. That's why we didn't see him all episode, because they'll be explaining it in next episode.
Yeah, because he could have popped out anywhere. We don't really know. Although I would think he would have had to pop out at the school, though. That's the only thing. But yeah, I guess he could have woke up at the school and somebody took him to the hospital or something like that.
What if he woke up in the library instead of what's his name that woke up wherever else?
Yeah, maybe somebody found him.
Maybe he knows how to go through the scars and get to the water where he'll pop out in the library, and they found him there. I'm just saying, there's so many.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
options. They gave us answers, but they didn't give us any. They gave us like a couple of direct answers, but nothing that was very like, oh, you can kind of like theorize with this. It was kind of like, here you go. There's a bunch of theories.
The answers gave us more questions. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even know if you could go into somebody's body that's in the condition that Simon's in. You know, that he's kind of half alive.
Well, I think she's saying if Simon came out, aren't you?
Right.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. Because last episode we don't know what really kind of happened to him. So what if he came out and somebody found his body?
Sorry, it was gonna keep going on and on.
All right. Yeah. Moving on. Sorry.
No, I just meant I was yelling at my Alexa. I knew otherwise it wasn't going to shut up.
Okay. I wasn't shutting up.
No, that's what I was saying. I was talking to my device. Yeah, I thought you knew what I said. That's why I was saying that. No,
I didn't. I apologize. I was like, oh, sorry, Jamie.
Doing its little reminder. So I was like telling it, it's okay. Shut off. Okay. So anyway, Mr. Martin. This is where he asked Maddie if the scar could have followed her home when she talks about her front door, which I'm guessing it did. And they talk about Van Hike, and they decide that he got out through Ralph, who his ghost is now stuck with the man with white eyes or whatever. That's what that's about, that whole scene. Now this irritated me. You cannot try to get into somebody's email.
You're echoing.
Am I? Sorry.
Yeah.
Am I still echoing? I don't hear it now. I heard it for a second there.
Yeah, it's done now.
Okay, good. This irritated me because how many times did she try that password? You cannot try a password that many times on somebody's email. She must have tried it.
Locking you out, right? I got the same vibe. I'm like, how is she not locked out already? That's the same thing I said.
They think people don't think about that, but we do.
Yeah, we do, because we go through it every day.
Maybe it's some old boomer thing, even though I don't know if he's a boomer.
Guys. I'm sorry. My husband just give me 1 minute.
Boomer.
Yeah. Either way, she's still hacking it, and she tries multiple times that she shouldn't be able to, but she does. And she does eventually hack it, but he's like, take a break, get something to eat. And he likes her. I think we already knew that before.
Yeah, I think they're cute.
Yeah, they are. And they end up kissing. Cute. And this is again where I was like that weird. See how I took a picture? Like it's hard to tell from the screenshot what I'm talking about. The way
I understand what you're talking about with the face. Yeah.
Right. It's just hard to tell from the picture, but it's like an odd angle, not a weird angle.
It's
just
a choice.
Odd.
Yeah.
It's interesting because they do it through the whole episode, and they did it for him too. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like a little like hazy, I think, because they're so close. Maybe I don't know. It might just be because they're too close.
Because they're in love.
Yes, maybe. All right. So meanwhile, Wally is thinking about going through his door, which we already knew. And as he is doing this, Kyle comes in and sees himself, and Xavier and Maddie's father and the nurse talk him into going into his body before it's too late. And
Yeah, what happens to the body if they don't reunite it? Does it just
I
die?
assume he would have died. That was I assume, yeah. But he does go into the body. He like touches it and then is supposed to have gone in. So that part of the story is done.
I didn't think that was going to happen in this episode. Did you?
I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest. Like, I was hoping it would, but yeah, I thought they might have dragged it out a little more, I guess.
Yeah, it was real quick. I was like, okay, next, let's go on to the next plot point.
Yeah, no, it did. So she finally hacks his email. I'm reading the emails. I was looking to see if there's anything else interesting. Meeting notes and additional docs. Deborah Hunter Price, recreation schedule meeting, Deborah Hunter Price, high school demolition plans, new financial totals on building, Deborah Hunter Price. Hello from admin assist. Here is your software on security. City council documents and login successful. I was trying to see if any of the ones from her say anything important. Please see the files in the folder we sent via FTP delivery. And the other one says, it was so great meeting with you yesterday. And this one says, a town meeting has given us a lot of insight on those are the subjects that you can see a bit of.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she's talking to Nicole about it, and they keep looking, and they see the email in a bit. But first it flips back to Wally and Maddie. And this is where Maddie's like, I see my door. I might take it. I can get to Simon. And he's like, no, you're alive. You can't take your door. That's going to cause shit to go bad. And we know bad things happen. Because that's kind of how Simon almost, in a way, I mean, it's not the way he got stuck, but it's sort of the same thing. They're
kind of the same people. Like Maddie says, like, oh, Simon's so impulsive, but Maddie's also impulsive. So
she is.
Yeah.
But we don't want her to get stuck in the in-between. So Wally's like, no, you can't go. Promise me you won't go. And he starts to tell her that when she says that this is the only way, he starts to say, no, there's another way, meaning he can go through his door and at least he's dead. I guess his idea is if you go through the door and you're not dead, it might kill you. If I go through the door, I'm already dead, so it can't do anything to me.
I might just go to the next, life or whatever.
That he would move on. Which, to be fair, I think that it's not a bad plan for him to go through, but I think that he needs to tell her. I think that he should have told her. I get why he didn't, but
no, everybody does an Irish goodbye here when they leave.
Yeah, of course.
Like Janet too. Like, why doesn't he just say goodbye? They're like, I gotta go do something for a second, okay?
Yeah, and then you just leave and take off. Bye. I do like though that they at least told each other they loved each other before.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was really cute.
Yeah. Sorry, Jen, did you have anything in the interim that I went past that you wanted to comment on?
I was pretty much listening to all of it. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, I was just giving you a hard time before, Jamie. I was just giving you a hard time. I'm sorry.
That's good. I just sometimes jump. I know I do jump too fast. That's why I'm just making sure. Excuse me. So he's still contemplating it. And this is when he talks to Rhonda and he's like, if you seen your door, what would you do? And she's like, oh, I'd go through it. And he's like, well, what about Quinn? And she's like, I'd still go through it. Which she doesn't know Quinn that well, to be fair. And this is where she says, it's not a fate I'd wish on anybody. We're not meant to be here. If I saw it, I'd leave. You have to take that leap of faith.
This part is the part I was mentioning earlier. This part got me. This was the moment in the entire episode that really got me.
Yeah, it was bad. But she tells him that, and that's what he does later. But yeah, he has this conversation with her, and I guess she's sort of responsible. Like if she hadn't said that, would he have taken the door? I guess I'll never know. He might not have.
He might have, but it wouldn't have been as quickly as he did. Because he would have still been contemplating it longer.
Yeah. I kind of liked that he was talking about how he liked the fact that he would peak in high school.
Oh, yeah. He said my sister
high school that much.
Not for nothing.
He loved high school.
Not for nothing. All I can think about is if I was his sister, I'd hate myself every day because I'd be thinking about all the times I tease him how you peak in high school, but he died at his peak in high school. Yeah. Oh my God. Talk about therapy. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
what your last word?
Because we saw in last episode or the episode, I don't remember, not episode, I'm sorry, last season or in season 1 when they actually had the homecoming game, we saw Wally's mom, right? And she was like the never-ending cheerleader that will die for that. Like, she didn't really think about her son. She thought about winning. And we didn't see the father. We didn't see the sister. Like, we saw none of that. So imagine how much that's eaten them up. Depending on whatever they did say to him. And we now know that the sister was like, oh, you're going to probably peak in high school. Well, he did because he died. He can't get any higher than he was.
But and the plus side, though, he's like, I loved high school. I didn't want to leave. And he's like, I kind of don't want to leave now. So.
And that's awesome. But the sister doesn't know that. And she probably like kills herself all the time whenever she thinks about it.
But I don't think the mom does, because the mom was at the
other
game.
She's like oblivious to it completely.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the email. I thought you guys might want me to read it because I know I wanted to read it before and couldn't read the whole thing.
Yes, please.
Deborah says, happy Tuesday. I spoke with Frank and he's amenable. KC, which obviously is Kyle, won't be available to join us this Thursday, but I can follow up with him later. I had our initial meeting with the architecture firm last night and it was absolutely fabulous. Can't wait to show you the plans. So they're talking clearly about the school and about demolishing it. And then she writes again and she says, sorry to bother you on a Saturday, but I got your fax last night. I was a little confused about some of the numbers. I thought we'd settled on $250,000 for my finder's fee. It's a big finder's fee. And I wondered where the $100,000 was coming from. I hope this was an error and not an issue with negotiations. And then he said, Deb, before that one, he hadn't answered her. And then this one, he says, Deb, call me. And then she says, so glad we worked that out. Very happy. So I guess the idea is she expected 250 and she only got 100. And she's like, why?
Right. Greed and more greed.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why she's so hung up on, and she has to get Kyle's money and everything because she has to have this plan go through because she was getting $250,000. Like, that's what she wanted. I mean, I think that was her whole motivation, really.
Right. Her motivation at this point, like, I thought it might, like, especially last episode, it might run deeper than that. Like, we were trying to figure out, like, who's related to, like, Van Height. Could it be her? Like, why does she really hate the school so much? But I think it might be just as simple and as old as time as money, like you said.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, tale as old
as time. Good line, Scarlet.
Yeah. All right. So they're going, this is where they say we should go to the cops. And like, well, we can't go to the cops because Claire's like, he'll know it's me. And then they're like, I know who we could get to help. And I immediately are like, they're going to get the principal to help because he wants to help. Yay. But I have to question, like, even if he does something about it, her stepfather is still going to know she told somebody, right? Like, it's still going to come back to her, I think, no matter what she does.
That's so funny that you say that because I thought the same thing. I'm like, it doesn't matter who says it. He's going to know it still came from her. Yeah. Because he doesn't talk to any of them. So whoever it comes out of, he's going to know that there's a mole, a leak, somebody in his...
Or somebody hacked his email. I mean, to be fair, they're right. Like, why would you put that in your email? Like, you don't put that in writing where somebody can hack it, right?
And the fact that they made an emphasis on that. Yeah. And the fact that they made an emphasis on that, I think you're right. They're going to wind up blaming it on that. And he's going to believe it, like, and chalk it up to just something like, duh. And the fact that they mentioned that anybody over 50 has the same password for everything that they have for like all the boomers. I was like, these facts are true. Most boomers have the same. I know my parents do. Like, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like they don't have the capacity to remember 1 million passwords, or they've got like 2 or 3 that they use for everything, but they have like 26 accounts. So like 2 or 3 passwords really doesn't mean anything, especially if they can get hacked or found. So I think that that's going to definitely mean something and foreshadow why they can get away with whatever they get away with, like you're saying.
Yeah. I do question though if she takes down her stepfather, like, is that going to hurt her mother? I kind of like.
I think that's the point. I think she wants to hurt her mom. She's made it now. This is what, like, probably out of the entire series. Scarlet, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, maybe in this season, this is the third, or second or third, but definitely overall in the season, this got to be like the 7th or 8th time. She's maybe I'm wrong, like 5th or 6th time. She's mentioned how much her mother has disappointed her, hasn't been there for her.
Mhm.
She wants that female role model that's not there for her.
Mhm.
And as great as her stepdad may or may not be, or her dad was, or was not, she still wants that female connection that she
makes
does
sense.
not
So
have.
she's mad at her stepfather, but it doesn't mean she's happy with her mother. That's fair.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, there's been the little things in other seasons, little nitpicking
Right.
things that she had where they were like, oh, my mom ignored me again, or now my mom wants this, and
Yeah. No,
Or like her
right.
mom canceled on her, and it was
Yeah.
like chalked up to nothing. So I do think that it's that trauma of not really having a real connection to somebody that you need to have a natural connection to in order to become the person you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Sorry. I lost my picture. There we go. Okay, so back at the hospital, the Kyle has woken up in his body, and why did my monitor just go off? Hold on, I can't see you guys. There we go. It came back.
Yeah.
I think it keeps trying to switch the audio for some reason on Discord, and it makes it blink. It's weird. So anyway, he's coming in to get a statement from Kyle, and Hunter Price sticks her nose in.
Yeah, she just comes in, I guess. She
Like,
doesn't really
I
get
have a
any
right
stake
to
in
be
it.
here.
How is she allowed to come in there? Like,
Exactly.
seriously. I was like,
I
well,
don't
who
think she
who
was. She
admitted
did
her?
it anyway. He told her no, and she's just like, fuck that, and came in anyway. And he doesn't have a deputy to push her out. Yeah, he should have stopped her, but it's a TV show. But anyway, he's like, what happened? And he's like, they saved my life. And she's like, no, they shot you. Why would you say that? And he's like, no, they didn't. And I don't remember what happened and everything. So either way,
There's a guy in a mask.
Yeah, he did not say what she wanted him to say.
Yep.
And this is where she starts her tirade. It gets worse later, but right now she's just really pissed off because she wants the money from him and he doesn't remember any of it. Okay, so back in the Scar here, he's looking for Ralph. This is where he tells him he understands what happened. He's sorry he didn't know he was trapped. And do you know where Simon is? And the kid points. Now, this was the part that when I watched this, I was a little confused because at first I thought, which was a possibility, that there was no water because the digital effects weren't in yet, because I saw an earlier version. But there is no water, clearly. So after I realized it was no water, I was even more confused. Where's the water? But I think the idea is, from what I got out of it, that those kids passed on a long time ago, that the water was from Mr. White Eyes or whatever, and that he was keeping all that trauma and everything there. And then once he realized the kids actually had moved on and remembered that he was able to move on, and that's why the water isn't there anymore.
Makes sense.
How I take it. Do you agree too, Jen?
That makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm not sure what that is, though. That looks like a bench or something. I don't know what that is, but there's no water.
Did it almost look like a mattress? Like maybe somebody was living in the church?
In the basement?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I thought that he was implying he still had to go down there to get to Simon. And, he doesn't go down. So I don't have an answer to that, but that's where he pointed.
I agree that somebody had to go down there, but the way that looked, I thought, I was like, maybe that's a mattress in a living quarters. What if somebody had lived underneath that part of the cellar? Or maybe that's the connection of it.
They got
it looks like a mattress, right? Like a cot.
I don't know.
Got Van Height by his
it looks like it's made of wood, so I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know that it even matters. The point is the water.
It might not, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So at the hospital, Maddie's getting more and more upset about Simon being missing. And this is where her dad tells her the story about when she was little and she was lost. And he tells her the story, and he gave her the compass, and then he admits, and they said it was a compass. I was right all along.
By the way, as soon as they said that was a compass, I was like, Jamie's right. She called it. It was a compass. That's Jamie right there on SciFi Vision, everyone. She knew it was a compass.
I called it a long time ago. You can see a good picture of it. But it always to me looked more like a compass than a star or flower or whatever.
Which now that you know that the mom gave it to her and the fact that she was able to find her way back, does that not like have some deeper meaning, like a compass to find your way if you're lost? Her mom gave it to her after her mom like pretty much got her cast out of her real body. She was still able to find her way back. I felt like this had so much meaning on so many deeper levels if we actually wanted to dissect it. I loved that you were right and that it was a compass. I'm like, oh my God, this just opened up like so many
now
things.
Her compass is the key too, right?
And the fact that it's the key. So I wonder if that means that she can like travel. Right. And I was like, I wonder if that means she can travel anywhere because it's a compass. It can go in any direction.
Maybe. But like I said, it also makes me think about the fact she gave one to Wally too. Although I don't know that he still had the copy, but
I'm sure he has it. Even if
they keep copying it, so yeah.
But yeah, like this to me, this was another mind-blowing episode. I was already crying, but to me, this was the biggest mind-blowing moment. I was like, Jamie's right. That's all I could think about. Jamie's right.
Beginning of the season. Well, it's because I look so much at these screen captures close up enough that's why I thought that.
I probably should have said, damn my vision, I couldn't see, but Jamie's right.
There, I zoomed in on it. That to me, I thought right away, it made me think of a compass because it looks like it could be a sun or something, but I just thought.
Yeah, it's kind of a little vague. Yeah. But I was happy that they said it was a compass, Jim. I was happy for you.
Yeah, because I couldn't see her clearly. I thought it was going to be one of those portraits, like they do the silhouette of somebody, like, like kind of a cameo. So I thought it was going to be like, I was completely wrong. But as soon as I saw what it was and they admitted, I was like, Jamie's right. Especially because I kept thinking it was like it's a cameo. I was like,
no, it's a compass. But the point of this scene is that he says, that was actually a gift from your mother. I gave it to you ahead of time because you were upset and I didn't bother to tell you that. That's so awful. It's like,
and I'm a
Here,
jerk.
have this gift that I got for you. He could have just, the thing is I don't know, other than plot point, because that was how her mother knew she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
I felt like, wouldn't the smart thing just have been to have said, your mother got this for you. You can have it early because it'll help you. Like, that's what a normal father would have said, probably, not mentioning it. But obviously, the whole point is that later she relays this information to her mother and that she likely could not have known this because he was dead, unless he told her before he died, which seemed very unlikely. And this whole time, obviously, her mother has thought that she thought it was from her father. So, it meant that
she didn't think her mom cared at all. That's
right.
Yeah, it makes her mom know she's really talking to her dad. She believes it.
I don't believe the marriage is stable. I don't believe the marriage is stable.
Yeah, that's
sad. Did that happen? Did that guy did that?
I wanted, the thing I wanted was I want Maddie to be able to talk to her father at least. That's the part that's sad. Like,
he kind of ignored her in this scene. Kind of ignored him.
Well, I think that's what made this scene so strong, right? Because Maddie is completely reliant and under this almost cannot be changed impression and thought that it's her father, right? That keeps her grounded. Yeah. And she physically has her mom. Her mom has not died, but she keeps sending her mom out to rehab. Her mom keeps doing things that, like, I don't care if I die, like all these things that bring her close to death, even though she's the one that remains. And I think that that's what this scene, even though maybe Maddie didn't catch on to it yet, that it's supposed to signify. Like, you have somebody that's there and you didn't realize, but they have the same power that you thought I had. The power that you thought I had to help and save you, but you couldn't reach me unless you go through Xavier. Guess what? You don't have to go through anybody. You got it right there in the house you're growing up. That is, and if you think about it, when it comes to marriage, like, right, when you marry somebody, you become half of a whole. So if you're both two halves of one whole, even if somebody dies, you still have that same DNA, the same everything referenced in there. You can get the same answers. But Maddie's never thought to get any answers from her mom because her mom has thought once he died, all those answers died, even though they're still living inside of her. She has not been able to accept that. She's just drank it away and hope it just died out. I think now, like, the mom is starting to realize, like, I can help my daughter. I can help myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Maddie's kind of realizing like my mom was the answer. Like, even though you died and I thought my whole world was over because everything was in you, I was wrong. I had you, but I still have her. And I think that's the part that people don't understand. Even when the other thing happens, like even in the story From, right? Tabitha lost Thomas. But at one point, Julie tells her, like, you still have two other kids, bro. Like, what about us? I think that's the same type of sentiment and feeling that this show is trying to like demonstrate, but in the opposite way. Like, Maddie needs to understand, like, you rely so like your dad can do no wrong, but he has and he can, and your mom is still there and has just as much power.
And that it was never him in the first place. And she let her believe it because it helped her. And now she's like, it was you all along. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. So this is where, as I pointed out, his ring, he takes the ring off and it's sitting on the table for anybody to grab. And I really thought that when she came in, I really thought she took it, but I did rewatch it. And from what I can tell, she did not, because it seems to still be sitting there when the cops, not the cops, when
just waiting for someone to take.
When the security guards come in, it's still sitting there. And I don't think she would have, why the security guard and the sheriff was there, grabbed it. There'd be no reason. Like, it would make her look really guilty. She wouldn't do it. So
make her look worse than she already is.
Yeah. It kind of like confirmed, like, she definitely doesn't know what's going on. Like, she doesn't kind of really know about the ghost word, because if she did, she would have taken it. So it made me think that she's not like a Maddie and has like been on the other side and come back. Like, she has no clue, right?
Yeah. But no, you're right. But this is where she's yelling at him that, she needs the donations for the school. Because I guess the thing that's interesting though is she's like, I need the money to get the school demolished, right? Like, you're part of this. If she's got $250,000, she can use her own damn money.
Word. I agree. I'm like, you have a lot of money and you're burning.
She wants to demolish that, but that's why she's getting the money. I know. But anyway, she's like, you promised me this donation. We made an agreement. And he's like, I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. And
because I don't.
He doesn't.
The moment he said that, I was like, yes, definitely. Because I didn't know if he was going to like play along. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But he was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, yes, in your face.
And she's like, what is going on? Like, she don't know what's going on either. But either way, she starts screaming. And she also says, which I think is interesting, she says that I'll lose everything. I'll lose my family. She's about to lose her family because of the way she's acting, not because like her daughter is clearly not down with this.
So did you think that when she said that, she did not mean her daughter? Because that's what I thought. I'm like, she doesn't mean her daughter, because she would have said my daughter, because that's all her family. I think she's thinking about whatever legacy was left for her, like her family name.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, but I couldn't say it. Her name.
Sorry, Scarlet.
I more figured that she's kind of like, I'll lose my identity and like I won't have money and they'll leave me.
Because name does mean legacy, I feel.
Right, I agree.
So that means something else than what we know.
Yeah.
What's Hunter Price here? What's Hunter Price?
Especially because we see her lose her daughter at the end. I'm like, she wasn't even thinking about her. When she said family, she's talking about her name, her legacy, her father, her grandfather, maybe her mother, whoever it is. It's not her daughter. It's somebody from the past. Definitely not her future. Is she thinking about?
Do you think though she realized that she hurt her daughter though? I mean, she looked kind of like.
No, I think she looked confused. Like, I don't understand why my daughter is not acting like I would be. Like, I should ensure whatever my mom has, because that's going to be left to me. She doesn't understand why her daughter doesn't depend on her. I think her daughter's already realized, like, you got me off to a good start, but from here I can kind of separate from you and keep going. And she didn't get that option. She was like, all right, whatever you give me, I got to build off of that. Her daughter's like, I don't need to build off of that. I can sell that shit, take that, whatever the profits are, and move on and start completely fresh with no connection to how I got here. Like, and just start like I'm a brand new pop-up. And I think that's going to have a significance in it, because Jennifer Tilly definitely feels like she owes somebody in the past something.
Yeah.
It's very emotional, very like her raspy
This was
voice. I like.
You
I
know
like
what would be
the-
interesting
okay.
though, if there's more to it, and we said that, and I'm thinking, but what if she literally does owe people
Oh, let's
money?
be
Like
quiet.
she could.
Ooh, like
I mean,
a
I don't know
mafia
that
kind of
I'm
scene.
just theorizing, but who knows? Maybe she needs the money. Maybe, but I think it's just she's greedy. But
I think she needs to maintain a certain like lifestyle and status, and that's why she needs that money. Because she
No,
knows that whatever she has stashed away can carry her for now, but she's still gonna have to absolutely like replenish whatever she's using. And I think that's what she is technically like thinking ahead through the past.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
I can't talk.
I'm
gonna shut up now.
Huh?
I can't get a word in edgewise.
I'm sorry. What are you trying to say, Scarlet?
I tried to say like about 20 things in the last like 10 minutes.
Sorry, go ahead. What?
I don't know how to say them because they come up when we're talking.
I'm so sorry, Scarlet.
So one, when she's like, Jennifer Tilly put in a hell of a performance, I thought she's going to turn into a demon. It's amazing how she can go up to 11 that much, because most actresses just stop and she just keeps going.
Yeah.
Did you think
I think that she might be a legacy family in town, but I don't know what Hunter Price exactly means. But she might related to the guy in the top hat.
That's a really good point, Scarlet. Really, seriously.
Isn't the guy in the top hat isn't Van Height?
No.
That's two different people.
He had a brown mustache.
Yeah, he's like bald-headed with a brown mustache.
He was talking about the bribe and everything. And
Yes.
then there was the other woman that was down there, but she was talking about her kids, like her, she was kind of mourning.
Kids. Right, like those suicide women for her kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I want to know, did they die down there, or were they somehow visiting? Like, they never explained that.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I thought that wherever the kids died, other people went there mourning and then chose to unalive themselves in mourning, like that woman. I think that was the point. And that hate and blame is still being like broadcasted out to others to just draw them in so that they can just keep feeding on evil. But there's a good side that they can feed on as well. Right? There's a lot of like yin and yang, black and white duality of good and evil. There's a lot of that. And then we also see parallels, but for different dilemmas.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before I move on? I'm sorry, Scarlett. If I'm ignoring, I'm not trying to
That's okay. I just have good ideas, but then I lose my ideas because I can't find I keep going, I
told you, just say shut up.
I mean, I almost thought about typing in the inner chat. Can I say something?
Just tell me to shut up. It's hard. I think sometimes it's hard too, because like we can't see you talking. Like if Jen starts to talk, I can see her talking. Like I can't.
You can see me put my finger up.
Yeah, I can't see that. But yeah, I told you before, just yell at me. I don't care. I talk a lot. I know I do. I'm also trying to not. I think we're already at like almost 2 hours.
My voice is hoarse from yelling at children all day, Jamie.
Yeah. Yeah, you are quieter too. I know that I talk louder than you do, and even Jen talks louder than you do. Sometimes it's hard to hear you.
I gotta save it up. I gotta save it up for the day. By the time the nighttime comes, I get quiet.
Yeah, yell at me, Scarlett. I apologize. I have so much respect for everything you say, and Jamie. So please just tell me, Jen. I'll be like, what? And you'll be like, my turn. And I will shut
your thoughts, though. I want to hear you and Jamie's thoughts all the way.
I know. No, but it's hard. I think it's hard sometimes with more people, but that's why you've heard Karen. She'll be like, she'll just tell me to shut up. And then we laugh about it. Because when I say tell me to shut up, I'm being serious. You can yell at me. It's okay. I won't get upset because I know that I talk too much. So it's all good. People in my life tell me to shut up, at home. It's okay. I always talk too much. No. No, we're good. All right. So anyway, back at the scar that I guess the thing is, it doesn't look like a scar now, but I guess it still is because it's a scar.
If it doesn't have red lights, I don't think it's a scar. I swear that red lights really highlights scar for me.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. But isn't this still Mr. Martin's scar though?
No, I thought this
But
was some kind of redemption zone for the kids. Like it's a different thing. Like it's golden. It looks golden.
Right, but I thought this was this why I thought originally they were there it was Mr. Martin's scar, but maybe I misunderstood that because I haven't seen a lot of it. I don't know.
but even if it's where Mr. Monscar is, it's not like on fire and burning down. It looks almost rebuilt. So
It
I
does.
agree, like with Scarlet, it's like a different, it still symbolizes something different in you.
Yeah, but you know what else too? He's resolved his Ralph issue though too. So like maybe he'll get his door. Like maybe his scar isn't a scar now because maybe he's done what he needed to do.
Oh, he finally, like, not only did he get redemption for being a shitty ass ghost, but he like he actually fixed what he messed up as a human. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So here's I thought that this was nice. I like this. So they see all these windows, and this is where they say there's 8 windows for the water's gone. Rhonda says she saw this from through the water, I guess. But they're like they're not doors or windows, and they're like maybe they're both. And then they say this is what White Eyes forgot, what Ralph was trying to show us. They've already crossed over. So yeah, that's what I said. The kids crossed. I think the idea is the kids crossed over a long time ago, but the guy couldn't remember that they did because he had forgotten everything.
What do you think the difference is between windows and doors?
Yeah.
I think that it looks cool being windows, but I think they did mean they were doors because they said maybe they're both. I assumed that they were right. I didn't really put much thought in it.
I actually thought that there had to be a difference between the windows and the doors, kind of like the original monsters and like the rest of the monsters and from. I'm like, there's gotta be a different. There's gotta be a reason why they look like stained glass windows, but every other scar, everybody else that's moved on has moved on through a door. So I didn't know if that had to do with like original land, sacred land, origin story, or
maybe
what. Or
the
I'm reading
innocence,
too much into it.
the innocence of children. They
maybe
got their beautiful windows with the doves and everything.
I like
I don't
that.
know. Can you pass through a window? Or windows?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And they needed 8 of them. I'm
Right.
looking at the designs. It is like doves or something.
They're
Birds.
doves.
Seashell at the bottom though, so it's kind of like water too. I don't know. It's like air and water or something. We were talking about elements earlier. I don't know. But either way, they decide that the kids already moved on, and I'm assuming now White Eyes has moved on too. Now that he remembers what happened. But this is where one of them says something like maybe Simon's there, and that's when Wally's like, I need to take care of something, and I know, and I think Mr. Martin knows where he's headed. And it's like, oh no, 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 no. I was like, no, don't do that.
Right?
Like yelling, don't do that, Wally. No.
When you saw the field, tell me you didn't scream.
I did. I definitely did. I was screaming and crying through a lot of this. But all the lights go, they flicker, so they know somebody moved on, and they're all like, oh no, who is it?
You know, it could have been one of those 3 ghosts. It could have been Fern or Sarah or Elliot.
Yeah, one of the ghosts.
They never brought them up. They never brought up those people.
No, we didn't see them really in season 3 or now.
Don't forget, like there's a whole band, so there are other ghosts.
What were you saying, Jen?
I said we really haven't seen them in this season, or last season, or this season at all. They were like, they were definitely focused or like blurred out on purpose and in focus still at the same time during season 1. So we can see there's a variety of ghosts that cover different decades. They kind of abandoned them in season 2 and definitely forgot about them in season 3.
You know what I think? I think it's like Yellow Jackets. There was extra people, and it's there if they need it. They decide they want to add more characters, they'll bring in the other ghosts. But otherwise, they're just red shirts and they don't matter. That's the way I look at it.
I thought Robin and Britt were really just real disappointments.
Yeah,
but Robin's on the show, so
yeah.
At least there's no like pit ghost, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's what it is. I think that they add in extra characters, so if they need more later, they can. Then we're not going to be like, where did this person come from? You just can assume it was one of them.
I feel like they need more bodies, and there's going to be before they get rescued. A few other heads are going to roll.
Let the bodies hit the flow.
Or else they're going to be up on spikes. So Kodiak said.
Yeah. Okay. So they've started filming that now. Yay.
Yes, Yellow Jacket is filming.
Yeah. So Charlie's upset because he's like, Wally is saying Wally promised he'd say goodbye before he left. I do think he should have. look, I guess he didn't tell anybody goodbye because he was probably afraid they'd try to stop him.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, he knew Rhonda wasn't, like, he could have told them, but it made it more powerful that he didn't. This is where Rhonda says, and like you, yes, it was super sad, and I cried too when she goes, leap of faith, because that's what she told him, and he listened to her. He took his leap of faith and went out his door. And then Maddie comes, and it's like, oh shit, now they got to tell her, which is sad. We didn't have to see that though. We just see her mourning after. And this is when her mother comes home and she tells her mother everything. She tells her the truth. She says, it wasn't me that was with you. I died. I think you knew it wasn't me. And then she tells her about her ghosty friends, including Charlie, who, it was weird too, the way she was listing them. And then all of a sudden she's like, and in 1994, Charlie died. Like,
yeah, in 1994, your senior year of high school, Mom, do you remember?
Yeah, and she knows this kid, and this is where she says Charlie Catani. I don't think the name was important. I think the idea was she was a senior. She knew this kid. That's another reason she believes her, because how else would she know that? Yeah. And then she also tells her about the necklace and that she knows her father, told her that it was really from her. And so now she knows.
Emotional.
And I was going.
Yeah, I was too. And also Mr. Anderson too is like, it's real. It doesn't make sense, but it's real is basically what he says.
And yeah, the fact that they kind of like have the hots for each other. I love that he backed up Maddie, right, to her mom, because obviously like she would trust him because she has feelings for him. So
now that you said that, I never even thought of them to. I guess they probably might like each other. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, Mr. Martin almost messed that up because when Mr. Martin jumped into his body in season 2, like she tried to punch him, and he kind of pushed her off, and she was like, it wasn't said out loud, but I think we all agreed that she was like, did I read the signs wrong? I thought we were like kind of feeling each other, and then it didn't happen. So you see that now that he's back into his body and himself, like there's still something there that can be rekindled. Do you agree, Scarlet?
I hadn't seen that part, so I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, it was good that he was there. The whole reason they brought him back, right, was because he has experienced this on some level and can back it up. Not only just saying agree with, listen to your daughter, but also this happened to me.
Right. I think not for nothing, this kind of shows like character building. Like Maddie's mom still can't just take Maddie's word for it, right? She needs to have that man's opinion to like kind of confirm and like reaffirm things. And then when she says, I know that dad didn't tell me about it or whatever, that's how I know that you gave me this, whatever. That's really what makes her say, I believe you. Because this is now the second story that Maddie told her. So if she would have just taken it off of a whim, she would have believed it off the first story. She had to bring up a man, and I think that kind of shows the hierarchy like that I was just trying to prove, right? Like she can take her daughter's word for it, but she still looks for it. Like she's in that boomer generation where she's like, I was a wife and I'm still supposed to listen to my husband. And my husband died. And every day I wake up, and that's why I drink so much, because I wonder what my husband would say, how my husband would help me, what my husband would tell me to do. And now I have no one to tell me what to do. Even if I'm the one that makes all the decisions for my daughter, I still tell my husband at night, and he's like, yeah, you could be a little easier, or you're right, spank her. Like, she still needs
be a
somebody
boomer,
to
though.
reaffirm her because she's in the boomer generation.
No, she'd be Gen X.
No, I'm Gen X. Don't go there.
But she would still be there on that.
No.
I
She's
don't
going to
think
be born in the 50s.
No,
yeah. I don't even know what. I don't know.
Actually, you might be right, but now I'm kind of embarrassed to say no. We're going to still call her a boomer. Damn it, she's acting like a boomer. She's
when Claire called her dad a boomer, I just assumed that it wasn't an insult, whether it was a boomer or not. Because
we're going to consider her a boomer because I'm a Gen X and I handle it differently.
I'm not even sure. What is Gen X?
Oh my God.
Oh, Gen X was in 1965. Okay,
65 to 81.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm not a Gen X then. What's after Gen X?
Millennials.
No, not millennials. Millennials are later.
Yeah, millennials.
Millennials.
Oh, I thought millennials was a lot younger, but I'm
no. The thing is, Jamie, they're born in 80, but they become of age in the millennia in 2000.
Right, that's fair. I graduated in 2000. No,
Yeah.
I see. I mean, technically there is a Gen Y, I think, but yeah, I was born in 82, so
Not for nothing, Jamie. I'd call you a Zennial. Like you're like a little bit still like Gen X, but like you're kind of millennial. Like we still were like sent out and like go play all day and don't come home until like the lights turn out. We went through all the different technology. We remember when there wasn't any and then there suddenly was. Like we're in that like in between sweet period of like Gen X and millennial. Because I'm 1981, I graduated in 99. So I'm only a year different from you. So I mean, and you and I have a lot of the same commonalities and interests, and I've been around for a while with you. So like I wouldn't call you a millennial at all.
Yeah,
like we talked about that. Like a lot of the things you say do not qualify you as a millennial. I qualify you as a Gen X. But you know what I mean? So I'm just saying.
But my point was people like Claire who are Gen Z would call anybody a boomer. It doesn't matter if they're Gen X or millennial or actually a boomer because it seems like a typical thing for Gen Z to do.
Yeah,
insult or not, maybe an insult. Maybe
not too. But millennial is 80. According to this, and again, it's Google AI. Who knows? But according to this, it said millennial is 81 to 96, which to me doesn't make sense because the other thing said it was 80s or was 65 on. So yeah, I don't know.
That's Gen X. 65 to 81 is Gen X.
Right.
Okay. Well, 81 is also millennial. So you're both, I guess.
Right. And that's why a lot of people tell me I'm millennial. I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. According to
like super old, so I'm like definitely Gen X.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. According to Google AI, which, like I said, I don't know how accurate it is, but it actually says Gen X 65 to 80, so it's calling you millennial. It's calling you.
Yeah, that seems right. It seems correct.
Right.
Well, it's also technically Gen Y, I think, so it's probably both.
What?
It can be part of both, right? Because I think Gen Y is. I assume Gen Y. Yeah, Gen Y is between 82 and 94. So,
that's why it goes XYZ.
Yeah, okay, that does make they're overlap. No, but it's basically telling me two things.
Gen Alpha.
Because according to that, it's saying one thing says you're Gen X and one thing says you're Gen Y or you're millennial. So I don't know.
Right, that's what I said. I call those. I just say it's a Zennial then, right? Like a little bit of X and a little bit of Ennial. So Zennial. So and Zennial starting to become recognized as 79 to 82.
Okay. Yeah.
So and I'm 81. So like I said, like I consider myself a Gen X just because everything I hear about Gen X, I'm like, that was me. And my parents had me at old. My dad was already 32. My mom was already 28. So they had me a little older than I guess the normal at that time period. Whatever. I don't care. I just was still raised on a lot of things that are like I hear things are Gen Xers. So that's what I consider myself as.
Yeah. B's right too, though. She said she graduated in 90, or she's a senior in 94, so that does make her a Gen X.
You're Gen X for sure, Jenna. I graduated.
No, I graduated in 2000. She's saying
Sandra.
In the show, the mother.
Sandra.
Sandra, is that her name?
Sandra or Sandra? Sandra.
Okay, well, Sandra
I don't know, I'm getting tired.
Was a senior in 94. So
that means she's definitely Gen X.
Yeah.
I graduated in 99, so.
Yeah. Either way, she's older than us. That's all we need to know. Okay.
So what were we making this differentiation for?
I don't know. We got lost in there. So.
I don't know.
I don't know where we were going.
I think you were messing up with Sandra's age, so I was saying that she was Gen X.
Yeah, I don't know. She's Gen X. We know now. It doesn't really anyway. But yeah, she did know Charlie. So Charlie's her age.
Oh, I know why. Because Jen said she was a boomer. That's why.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I did.
Because she was watching for her husband, whereas the point is they just needed somebody in the room that had experienced the ghost thing to back up Maddie. And it doesn't really matter if it's a husband figure or not. Because she's Gen X and not a boomer.
Well, maybe now she'll get with her teacher. Who knows? Anyway.
Well, I'm glad I solved that for myself.
Moving on. What? These are weird earphones. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. Really, really bizarre. I don't. Oh, okay. They must go around his head. It's the way he's got them on. Okay, so they go to
Yay, Alex.
Hartman. Yay, yes, Alex. They go to Principal Hartman to be like, hey, we need your help. And yeah, maybe he'll save the day. We'll have to find out.
I
And
hope
then
so.
I hope so too. And then we switch back to the basement and the elevator is open. So yeah, I definitely think that's implying Van Height is back at any rate. Which to like I
Guess
said,
who's back? Once
to me
again.
means he had the somebody at the hospital, right? I guess he's back. But that to me means he traveled into somebody at the hospital. Now, whether he jumped into, that old woman and jumped into somebody else, who knows?
A whole bunch of people.
Jamie and Scarlet, do you remember? I think it was either last episode or the episode before that when the Nurse Ratchet lady was smoking the cigarettes, somebody walked behind her. We didn't know who that was. What if that was Van Height?
Maybe probably it could have been. All I saw was an outline.
Well, why is it open now, though? That's the only thing. If that's the case, why is it open now?
What if he has a skeleton key the way whatever it was a skeleton key for the high school kids?
Right. But I mean, if he went in then, why is it open again now is what I'm saying. Like, because she's noticing it now, not then. So I think this is implying he's in now. But yeah, I forgot about the Shadow Man too. I don't have an answer to that. Then that could all be a mistake. It could be a red herring. It could be a nothing burger. We'll find out.
Right, definitely.
All right, hold on. Take off comment there. Okay, so then this is where she picks up her necklace. I thought, and maybe I'm wrong. See how you took this. When she took her necklace off, I thought she was was pretending she was duplicating it for Wally because they were doing that all the time. Did you get that, or did I just take it that way? I thought that's what she was about to do. Like she was pretending.
That's so cute.
Yeah, like she was doing it like it's a ritual now. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter because it glows.
I thought she was trying to duplicate it the way Yuri had with the daisy. I definitely thought she was trying to duplicate it just to have extra ones around now that she knew what Wally did and everything else. I thought she was going to get some extra keys and stash them around so she gets caught doing whatever she can get out of it like a jam real quick because she has keys stashed around and she was making extra.
I don't think she can duplicate it herself though. I think she needs to go touch it. I just took it more like she had been doing it as sort of almost like a ritual with Wally every day. Because they kept him having the necklace. So she was kind of doing it to remember. But whether she was or not, I don't know. The point is it glows. And she sees the door, her scar, whatever.
I like that poster of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers that's on her wall. I think that's...
Is that what it is? I cannot tell. Good call, Scarlet.
It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Body. I can see it.
Serious wink.
You are good. Winky, winky. Good job, Scarlet. Winky, winky.
That's obviously that movie is apropos to this too, right?
Yep.
Right.
Could you imagine two people that are friends like Simon and Maddie, and they love horror movies, but now they're just living in every horror movie they ever liked?
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Like she had a Carrie t-shirt, got hit with blood, and now they got the body snatchers going on.
What was the movie that Simon was looking up in the first season?
Oh, The Sender. I've been trying to find it. I have to pay for it. I can't find it free anymore. But I want to watch it. It was from 1982. You think you get it free somewhere?
1982. All right, I'll look for it myself. I have not looked for it. I forgot all about it. I know he mentioned it, and I was like, I'm going to look for it. I forgot all about it.
This season, right?
I've been looking up bands from the soundtrack in the library, so maybe I'll look it up in the library and see what's there.
There's some good music. I think you'll
like that St. Vincent song at the end. I got that CD because that's pretty good.
Yeah, the music here is really good. It reminds me a lot of Charmed. Do you girls remember Charmed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it reminds me a lot of the Charmed soundtrack. Like I was all about the Charmed soundtrack. So and I used to fall asleep to the Charmed soundtrack. Like I know it like back to front. So all through all the seasons. So hearing this just reminds me of that. It's like a nostalgia, even though it's got a difference. I just really, really, and you keep mentioning it, Scarlet, and every time I'm like, I gotta go back and record it. It's so good. She's so right. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys before we move off the zone, because I do kind of wonder, and it makes me think something's going to happen. She saw Van Height go through the door, right? Through this. We don't know why, but the fact that Mr. Martin said her scar moves really makes me think somehow he's going to go through her scar or something, like somehow. That's what that makes me think, because otherwise, why did she see him go through that door and then he like disappeared? Like, we don't even know what happened to him. He somehow escaped her front door. I don't get it. Like, there's something.
I didn't remember. I couldn't figure out where that door was from. But when I figured out that was her front door, the only thing that I can think of was that somebody died in the house that she's in, and he's been through a scar through there before, and that's what she's tapping into.
Oh, maybe. I assumed it was her scar that's moving.
Well, her scar's got to be in the boiler room, no?
That's what I thought. But Mr. Martin said that your scar is attached to you. And I think that's why her thing glows. That's why I said, is her key is somehow connected to the scar, I think.
Oh, like the residue, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I'm just going by what Mr. Martin said. I don't know. I'm just going by that.
No, that's a good recall.
Because I just think I also think that it's a way that next season, if there's a next season, they could go outside their area, so they could get outside of the school. Because like if she says, oh, you can travel into my scar, and they go in her scar, and then she can walk, to the store or something, they could come out, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. So it could end up being interesting. But either way, she sees her door and she makes the choice to go through it, and she is in the forest in the Fromville. Now,
she's in Fromville.
She's in Fromville for sure.
No, she's in the forest, and we don't know what this is, what this universe.
Her name is now Sophia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, her name is now Sophia. She's now come to preach in Fromville. Oh, she could be in Yellowjack. She could run into the huts in Yellowjack.
Oh, you're right. Good. Going somewhere. But either way, so what do you guys, where do you think this lead? Like, I mean, I'm assuming that it's going to somehow lead her to Simon, but other than that, what do you?
Well, were either of you surprised, even though she went through a scar, that she's still alive? As opposed to Simon or the ghosts?
But is that necessarily true? I mean, she's going through the door. We didn't see what happened after she went through the door. What if she ends up like Simon once the door shut?
Well, that's my point. I'm like, so now we've seen ghosts go through a door. We've seen somebody that's in the in-between go through a door. And now for the third season, now we're seeing somebody that's alive go through the same door. And in no season have you seen what's on the other side of the door. I'm like, what's on the other side of the door? What do you see?
Somebody who's in the in-between goes through the door. What do you mean? Simon went through a door?
Well, I'm thinking maybe he went through a door, even though we don't see it.
Okay, I thought we didn't see it yet. Yeah, you might.
No, we haven't seen it. But I'm just saying, like, if you
figure out
that aspect.
Last week, I thought you were saying last week he did. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't know. What is this place though? Why is it leading here? I guess is the big
question. It begs the question: what's on the other side of the door?
Why the woods? Why is it woods?
Yeah. Spooky. They want to be spooky. I don't know.
So we've seen woods and woods and what was Dawn's?
Earth, water, and fire. Maybe it could be.
It could be Earth.
I'm just saying that because we were talking about elements earlier, and I'm just.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. That it could be elements. Absolutely.
I don't know.
I mean, the supernatural has to connect to something earthy, and that would be where like origins come from. Because that's all they knew is what they could see and touch and feel.
Yeah. But either way, she is somewhere that is not normal. I guess.
Not at all.
This normally doesn't happen when I go through my.
It normally does not happen. But what do you guys? What do you think's going to happen? Like, what do you think's going to happen?
Simon's going to get rescued.
Yeah, I think that's
either by Maddie or by Wally, or maybe both.
Do you think they're going to meet up? Maddie and Wally will find each other on the other side?
Maybe if love has a way, love finds a way.
Do you think the other side will be like a central location where multiple spirits can meet up? Or do you think it will be individual, like a test or some sort?
It'd be interesting if they had a way to let all the forgotten be released.
Yeah. I don't know.
Between point A and point B and point 3.
Yeah. I mean, my assumption either way is that either Simon or Wally or both are going to be there was what I thought. But
the next episode is called Dawn of the Deb, so I'm assuming Hunter Price is going to be stomping around the town like Godzilla or something. I thought she's going to turn into a demon. I don't know if there's anything else there.
Well,
I don't
now I
know.
definitely think that she's gonna wind up being Van Hike. Shit.
Maybe. Oh my God. If it happens now.
Definitely. Like I'm like, and she was in the hospital, so I'm like, oh, now I definitely think he jumped into her body at some point.
He might
Why
have.
not? She needs, they need each other.
Mhm.
He can't
Well,
jump back into
and with her
Kyle or
yelling,
Jensen.
and with
Yeah.
her yelling, it's like a low point too, because we all talk about low points, and she's like, "I'm the lowest of my low."
Yeah.
Well, even
Right.
when
Right.
Olivia leaves her, right? Olivia throws
Yeah.
her bag at her and leaves. She's at
That's
the lowest of low. So
really
what if the next scene we see is him jump right into her right then and there?
could be. Yeah, that makes sense because you did. We were saying earlier you had said that about they have to either be physically hurt or mentally at a low point.
Like in
It
despair.
actually makes sense, like why Kyle would have to, or Casey, whatever, Van Eyck would have to shoot himself because he wasn't upset like
Right.
himself. That's
You
why
have to
he
be
had
in
to create
despair.
trauma. So it's something
Absolutely.
to do with trauma or despair or some kind of injury. Yeah. So very
Right.
interesting. But yeah, well,
Wallowing and like mental
no,
wallowing, right?
let me ask you, Xavier got just because I'm wondering about it. Xavier can see ghosts. Oh, Scarlet got disconnected. Hold on, Scarlet. So Xavier got hit by Maddie in the car. See, I didn't see what that was about. And now he can see ghosts. Did he like leave his body or did somebody take over his body or did he just die for a little bit? What was that about? Because that's the part I never saw.
So he kind of left his body. We see that in the very opening of season 1, episode 1. Right? So in the season finale is when Maddie winds up backing out. We find out like Janet has taken over Maddie's body and Maddie's body went out there and Xavier sees her and she jumps into his car and backs up and hits him. That's the season finale for season 1. So in season 2, episode 1, we see that it's her and Xavier is now in the hospital and then he kind of wakes up. But when he wakes up, you can clearly see that he flatlined. So technically,
Oh,
like he died according to like hospital machines and they revive him. Once they revive him, he jumps back into his body. But even after he wakes up in like his actual body, he can still see what he
yeah,
saw when his spirit left his body
right. I didn't. That was in the first episode though, because
of
I do not
season
remember.
2.
Oh, no, but you said season 1 at the beginning. She hit some. They show that in the
Well,
first
no,
episode.
I'm so sorry. That's season 2
Oh, okay.
episode. No, sorry, that's the season finale. You see that like her hitting him. And then season 2, episode
Okay,
1,
that
he
makes
wakes up in the hospital and that's where they pick up from. And in that first episode, like towards the end of the episode, is when you see that he flatlines, but he goes out and he sees, and you can tell that he sees Maddie's dad.
right. Okay, that makes sense. I just was confused by what you said, but yeah,
I'm
I just
sorry.
wondered. That's the part I never saw was with because I didn't see season 2. I saw up to mid season 1. I now want to go back and rewatch the whole thing. I should have watched the whole thing previous when we were going to do this. I wish I had if I'd had time, but I just hope that if I do, like they better get another season. Like I don't want to watch it and then find out it's not coming back because that would suck.
Yeah, I really want a season 4 after this. Like seriously.
I do too. I think Paramount's, I mean, they're pretty good about, I think, about renewing things, aren't they? I don't know because I don't watch a lot of Paramount, so I'm not sure.
Well,
But
after today's announcement, knowing that like Netflix is no longer in the bid to buy Warner Brothers and Paramount is, I see that they're definitely like got a lot of money coming in and probably can roll through with keeping everything that they have and at
yeah,
least keep like a little status quo while they go through this transition period.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean they will, but I guess we'll find out.
I'm
Scarlet
hoping.
dropped off again. I don't know. Hopefully, she'll get
Oh
her
no,
charge back in a few minutes. We'll keep talking and give her a few minutes because if we disconnect before she comes back, she won't be able to come back in once we hang up. Once we
no
disconnect.
part. No worries. We can keep going.
So we'll keep going for a few minutes. Give her at least a
Jump
few
back
minutes.
in.
She said she went to get her charger, but yeah, I'm sorry. Was that from this? Sorry, I saw something pop up. I'm like, what is that about? Oh, I thought it wasn't about this. Yeah, I want a season 4. That's all I gotta say. There better be a season 4. Because it's really good. I really like it, and I really wish I had had the time to catch up. I really do. I don't necessarily feel like I didn't understand things or like I missed things. I mean, I missed a little bit, but I picked up enough asking you guys things. But I do want to see it. So.
But from what you watched, you were able to like kind of catch on to the gist of everything and know what's going on, even though you might know no specific details.
Yeah.
It was easy to catch on. This wasn't this what the great thing about each season is that there's this crazy ass twist. There's
Mhm.
always some twist that you weren't expecting to how it got there. And it always starts with some kind of a murder or somebody waking up where they're not supposed to be, seeing things or in a different dimension. So
Mhm.
it definitely kind of keeps you on your toes. Kind of like in like we're watching Paradise now, right? It's like a whole different perspective of what's going on at the same time that we've kind of already seen or gives us insight to what we've already seen. It
Yeah,
kind
I
of
like
shows that
they
duality from both perspectives, and I really appreciate that because
they do.
oh, you always wonder like the grass is greener on this side, or is it really? Like, what
Yeah,
are they thinking? Why do they think that way? But I think so differently. Like it makes you question your own views and perspectives and makes you think like, what the hell are they thinking? And I think that's even more prevalent today with everything that's going on. So I like shows like this that make you not only question your own stance, but where the other side is coming from so that you can kind of definitely defend where you're coming from if you know where the other side is at.
hmm yeah. I yeah, I like that they this time it's like about Simon. I mean, not that I seen tons of it about Maddie, but I like that they switched it up. I think that's interesting. And like I said, I did see the first half of season one, which I think helped because I knew what the show was. I just didn't see, like, I never knew that she wasn't dead, like that somebody had taken her body. That was the part I never got to, the whole Janet thing.
Like I said, the big twist.
Right.
And
But like, the basic idea of who everybody was and everything I had seen, that part. So that helped.
And I like you said, like now this time it's about Simon, but he's not going through the same thing that Maddie went through, right? He's got his
Right.
whole different experience. He bleeds, he's still alive. Now he's completely vanished. There's been a whole episode we have not seen him. So this really brings up the intrigue and the curiosity on what are they going to do next? What twist can they actually add next to? Because like you said, you weren't expecting Janet and the whole body switching thing. I personally never expected her mom to be in the boiler room. That still to me is a jaw dropper. So like you can only imagine what the writers are going to do with the rest of the season and where this is going to twist and spin because right now Simon is completely vanished and he's really the new theme of where we're going with in season 3.
Yeah. I just hate there's only one episode left. That's
Oh God, please, it sucks. That sucks so bad. Only one more
longer.
left.
It's been longer. Seasons, they're getting shorter and shorter on things. It used to be at least 10. Like for a while, it was like when it went off. I mean, it hasn't been like 20 for a while, 22, but then it was like 13 for a lot of things, and then it was like, well, it was at least 10, and now we're getting even less than that.
I know when it became less than 10 and it was like at 8, I was like, wait, now so many
That's,
things are becoming accustomed to being 6. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
yeah,
6 episodes. And when you read about their budget, because I know you do a lot of interviews and you know a lot of like behind the scenes stuff. When you hear about these budgets, it's not getting any cheaper, but we're getting less. Even though a lot of these shows do have good quality in the cinema in the actual episode, and the writing is still pretty damn good, it's still only 6 episodes and the price hasn't gone down. Wow.
no, no, you're right. I don't know. I was gonna say, how many episodes were there last season? There were 8. Maybe there's always been 8 for this show. Yeah, there was 8 in season 1, so that's
Oh,
nothing new for this show, I guess. But with streaming, it can be different, various amounts. It kind of depends. I just wish shows were longer. To me, 8 isn't enough. Like
I
I think,
agree.
I think 13 was a sweet spot in my own opinion. But I think you at least need 10. I don't like that a lot of shows are less than 10. That's my own personal opinion. I understand why they are, but I don't like it.
I
Don't
agree.
have
I think very few shows have pulled off the 6 episode kind of a stream. I think you almost can't do the characters justice without paying some kind of like contribution to context and background for who they are and what's going on with the plot, especially with the kind of shows that we watch, right? Like a lot of murder mysteries or a
yeah,
lot of like sci-fi, like things that require context. And it's
yeah.
really hard to pull it off in like 6 episodes with a good plot that gives you a conflict resolution and still pulls in twists.
Yeah, I would say at least here. I mean, British shows a lot of times you get less, but they've been doing less for years. So they don't necessarily not work because I think because they're used to it. She can't get back. There she is. I was going to say she should be able to get back in.
Hey,
There you are. You're in. I was going to say you should be able to get in.
Scarlet.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me tell her. I'll text her and tell her you're in, even if you can't hear us or we can't hear you. You are in.
Yes.
Am I here?
Now we hear you. Now we hear you. All good.
Yes,
I don't know.
Scarlet.
All went weird.
So before
it all went wacky.
Well, it's good now. It's working now. So before we wrap up, Scarlet, since you weren't here while we were going on and on, do you have anything else to add about the end of the show? The end of the episode? And she's silent again. I wonder if she's having trouble.
I can't hear you guys.
Can't hear us.
We can hear you. Okay.
Can hear you. That's why I should turn. We can. Whoops. I'll turn in here.
Can you hear me?
Discord. Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. She can't hear us saying.
I'm holding it to the side. There's something wonky. There's something wonky with my Wi-Fi, I guess.
I don't know. Well, we're kind of at the end anyway, so she can see the chat, right?
Well, we usually don't take up all my iPad power. We usually don't take up everything in my iPad when we do a live, as opposed to Julie's.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying attention.
Sorry. Oh well. All right. Well, I think we're kind of.
I guess we had a lot to say.
Yeah, we're kind of winding down anyway. So, yeah.
Did you say anything else about this door?
I don't know. Were we talking about the door? I don't know. If you have something else to say about the door, go ahead.
Yeah, give us a theory, Scarlet.
She can't hear us saying.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, you
it's
can't
just a
hear
big
us.
delay because I've got some kind of Wi-Fi problems.
Oh, there's a
about
delay.
20
Okay, that
seconds.
makes sense. No, okay. Well, yeah, go ahead. Give us your theory. We can hear you fine. It's just, I guess, delayed for you.
Why do I have a theory about this?
No, I just thought maybe you did. I didn't. You don't have to.
She's earthy. I think that's cool. I mean, earth element. That's nice. She's earthy. She's like the Earth Mother. That's cool. I don't know what's out there other than woods. I mean, does anybody there have a connection with the woods?
I think it's the earth elements, like you said, but do you think she's like gonna run into anybody on the other side that we've seen before, perhaps?
Who do you think?
I definitely think she's going to find either Wally or Simon or both. That's what I think.
Or somebody else, Jen? You sounded like you meant somebody else.
No, I was thinking all of those same exact people that Jamie just said, because they really haven't mentioned too many others. Although I really would be excited to see if she ran into Janet or Dawn.
Oh, yeah, Janet, definitely. I mean, everybody thought Janet would come back, but I don't think she's going to, but I really liked her and I wish she would come back.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get to catch up with them. Who knows?
Yeah, Dawn
All
might
right.
be interesting. It might be in an in-between place.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd like another dimension in between. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll have a good wrap up for the season, though. Like, hopefully it will end good. And
I hope it's not too wrapped up.
Well, I wonder it depends if there's another season.
You keep saying if, and I'm like, when there's a fourth season, when
As
there's a
long as
fourth
there's a
season.
fourth season, yes. When there's a fourth season. All right. We'll go
When
with
there's
that.
a fourth season.
All right. Well, I think
just feel there's too much to tie up without having something left over.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see next week, but I think we've exhausted everything for tonight.
Agreed.
So thank you, everybody who joined us. I don't know if there's a lot of other streams going on right now. We didn't get a whole lot of people, but those of you who did stay with us, we appreciate it. So thank you for listening. I just hope enough people got the announcement earlier, because we won't get a chance to announce it on our Tuesday show because it's before Tuesday. But Monday at 7:30 Eastern, Alex Zahara, who plays Principal Hartman, is going to be on our special edition of School Spirits Split River Keys. And as I said, it's technically officially our first edition of SciFi Vision Spotlight, because I know I had kind of talked a little bit about the Spotlight before. We were originally intending to do the Spotlight mostly on, older shows, but the more I thought about it, I think that everything should kind of be under the same place. So, we can spotlight whatever show we want to, but that'll be our first one. And like I also said earlier, I think, even though I've been saying this for months, I do think we're going to have an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Spotlight pretty soon, but not who I originally intended, because those are kind of, I'm not sure about, but we got somebody else maybe. So we'll have to see how that goes. No, you're good. Thank you for being here, even if you're lurking, third shift lurker. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. But yeah, guys, make sure that you come back Monday for Alex, and if you ask questions in the chat, we'll ask them to him, and hopefully that'll go well and be fun. And we'll see you guys again on Thursday for the finale, and of course Tuesday we have our regular Fandom Access at 10. And this week we're starting Monarch, as well as the next episode of Paradise. And I think there's still a Starfleet Academy left. So that's on Tuesday. So all that good stuff. And we are going to hopefully soon be starting some From stuff. I mean, it's a little bit away yet, but I'm working on a recap for season 1 through 3. I want to get done. I'm done writing season 1, so I gotta finish that. I'm trying to do that. So at least I got something. But yeah, that's not too far away. Also, make sure you guys check out scifivision.com for our interviews, as well as our video tab. I just put up 2 from the Gray House, and tomorrow I should have Monarch up, and probably the movie K-pop. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. I had a lot this week. I said I talked to Mila Jovovich earlier in the week too. That'll be up sometime next week. So lots going on. But thank you, everybody. And yeah, please subscribe to SciFi Vision. Hype the video if you can, and we'll see you hopefully on Monday for our interview. And make sure you join Discord if you're not. You can catch up on our schedule and do our watch parties, because we have our watch parties for School Spirits right before our live stream at 9:30 on Thursdays. So thank you, everybody.
Vaya con Dios, my darling. Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con
my
Dios.
darling.
Hamster